All right, so we're back. This is Magnus Aevum, episode 15.
That's a lot.
It is.
That's funny.
You guys think you get that old yet?
I'm 3.
And you're a big kid now.
Woo! Woo! So, last time in our crazy world, Lamel took his daughter to a park.
I did.
Oh, it took you fucking 2 weeks to do it.
A week and 6 days.
Richard worked on a job, made some money, and Adrit
I read a book.
read a book.
That's what I do.
And he hung out at the park.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Adria had the most eventful week out of all of us.
I mean, if nothing else, it was the most fantastical.
The most wonderful, even.
I'm avoiding that. You noticed?
I know you're
Conscientious of it.
trying.
Yeah, leave me alone.
You're doing a wonderful job.
This is what I get to work with.
Yeah.
We can just write down synonyms for you.
The big catch of all of this is that everybody went back to the estate for a nice night, have some food, get some rest in the mostly unfurnished estate. Only Lamel snuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Richard also didn't come home immediately, which is fine because it's not like he's married to the house, so it's not a big deal. But each of them had their own little encounters. I mean,
They bought it.
I was gonna say that's some large tracts of land to take care of, but let's leave that alone. Yeah, see, this is what happens when you start jokes before we, go live.
Yeah, that was a perfect joke, so I'm proud of that one.
Anyway, when they came back, there were footsteps in the house that, well, they could visually see Adrit and Anna laying by the hearth, and they weren't moving around. They went to investigate. Turns out, there were assassins.
We didn't know that yet. They were intruders.
It's a guess.
Unwelcome people.
I don't even know if it's been learned that they're assassins. But they
Yeah.
did manage to dispatch all but one. In the process of a following question and answer session with some force and Lamel's classic charm, nothing was learned.
Yay!
So, I believe Lamel devised a interesting solution that took him about a week to get totally together.
Can we put a hold on that?
We're going to.
Okay, good, because I need a potty break.
I wasn't going to start with that anyway because I know better. I'm just bitching.
I'll be back.
Richard went and did a roofing job.
Don't fall in.
To start that out, please roll a d20 for me twice. You may take the better of the two.
20. Natural.
Oh.
Oh,
That's a better one.
Yeah.
okay. How much were you promised per day?
You can say
It
a
was
really
a,
big number. He's not going to
I believe it
remember.
was a gold and a half.
That does sound accurate when you said one.
For some reason, you got paid 4 gold a day.
Woo!
So, 4 times 5. If you want to work overtime, that's on you.
That sounds like work.
Wait, what? Adrit spent a week reading and telling stories, sometimes to Anna, but otherwise perusing whatever book you can get your hands on, right?
That's generally what he does, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
So we're going to open.
I would also like to meet up with my army buddy again sometime throughout the week.
Yeah, sure.
And I did have a question, too.
Just to make sure he didn't die.
We'll start with your question. Let's do that.
How's Mommy? Because as far as I'm aware, Mommy was asleep in the bedroom that they definitely walked into.
Oh, no, she's fine.
Okay. I just figured I'd probably check on Mommy at some point. If
That-
she's fine, I'm going to continue my sandwich eating.
So the guy was like
Story
in there
of
a
Tilly.
while because he was just so shocked. How is this woman still alive?
I don't know, man.
Nah, I mean, he wasn't in there more than, what, like 15 seconds?
I don't know. I was in the kitchen,
So, wasn't long enough to actually have done much.
all I know is I won hide and seek because
They didn't find me.
nobody found me.
But
Not true. Don't you have to fight?
throughout the week, I would probably say, to my knowledge, Anna spent some time causing some small amounts of havoc to Lamel and his home.
I would be surprised if I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I did bitch about not having a couch like 37 times
Okay.
a day.
How many
Is
times
he a
did
joke to you?
fall asleep on Adrit, though?
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's scaly.
Yeah, but I'm wearing clothes.
Yeah, but a couch isn't scaly.
No, some are.
I'm fairly certain that's the issue with a leather couch. Is it's just straight skin. But anyway, for anybody that's out there that's never touched a snake,
No.
don't feel dramatically different. But, all right, so you want to go see your war buddy?
Mhm.
All right, let's start there. Go out to the bar because it's the place you keep running into him. Well, in bar place.
In-bar place.
Yeah, it's an in-bar place.
I like in-bar places.
In-bar
That's
bar.
the name of it.
The in-bar place.
Mm-hmm.
Just plaster
I think I
away.
named it and I totally forgot to write
No,
it down because I
in-bar
made it up
place.
on the spot.
Gold
Solid.
lettering.
Was it Verfar or Veerfar?
It's a
Second one
VA.
sounds
VA.
Veer far, wherever you
He would
are.
do that.
That's 3.
Yeah. Vafar.
Veerfar.
And he is a member of Caleb. So he's from a low clan.
Okay, cool.
You go to meet him. This time he's a lot more lucid, a lot less on the sauce. And he's got a couple of buddies with him. You've been meeting with him off and on all week.
Oh, then I probably give him his stuff back.
Oh, okay, that's fine. And he's got a table.
Mhm.
There's 2 other people there. They look like they're common guild workers. One looks more disheveled than the other. The one that looks disheveled has like this like squirrely wavy waves of hair that come down to about the jawline. They're black naturally hair color, but he works in carpentry. So
It's a little lighter than it should
if he
be.
does this, there might be sawdust involved. It'll get rinsed out later by the well or with a hose. Hasn't really changed much out of his general clothing. He's in heavy canvas and pants. Past that, jovial looking individual. Very young compared to you all.
Oh, he just started.
Hmm?
Oh, he just started then.
Yeah, he has, but if you really pay attention to his arms, he has a lot less nicks than any carpenter would normally.
Mhm.
And you can see there's like a small bandage just sitting on one of his fingers from a recent nick. The other person, who looks like they probably work in the bellows of a smithy, because they have like the raccoon eye, only the raccoon part is what's clean, and the rest of the face has a bit of soot still stuck on it, including the mustache they have going that's not curled or anything like that. It's just kind of got a good bushiness to it. It's off brown, almost auburn looking, but again, that could be just due to their work.
Okay.
It's just probably a light brown.
Sure.
Both people look fairly fit because they're highly active all the time, but they're not fit in a way of a gym person. They're fit in a way of a person that just works for a living. You know.
Very good. Otherwise, they're buff.
Well, the ones are really young, so he hasn't got that far yet. The other one, on the other hand, is pretty old. If you had to wager a guess, he's pushing towards retirement age, but not there yet. So don't call him old, or do, I don't care. Vafar quickly introduces both of them. This is Larka, and just for fun, Robert. Robert's the smith.
I had nothing I really wanted to do. I just wanted to meet up with him to make sure.
Oh, okay. Well, he keeps inviting you. How's that?
Okay, yeah.
Just a general introduction before you can even really get going or anything like that. We need another round over here. We got a new one.
We got a new one. Some my type of people.
They've already got 2 mugs each and a plate of a couple of sausages, some simple,
Some schnausages.
some sausages. I love me sausages. a potato that's been heavily salted, and a little bit of cream with it. Past that, it's got little tiny bits of what should be cauliflower, but it's purple. Anybody out there knows what that is? Kudos.
It's purple cauliflower.
I mean, it has a name too, but yes.
It's purple broccoli. Thank you.
I mean,
purple.
broccoli's just a flower that hasn't had a chance. Go ahead, look it up. Prove me wrong. I'll take it in the comments. Past that, not much. They're just bitching
Pitch.
and talking about things that happen in the guilds. Most of what that is brought up pretty quickly is that there's negotiations within the Ministry of Industry to change the day wage for entry guild. But it's not like a minimum wage like we would consider it. It's instead like a guild rate versus a non-guild member.
Mhm.
And they want to make the guild rate higher so the gap is bigger, encouraging people to join the guilds.
That makes sense.
They're bitching about it because some of the people to get licensed to actually work in a guild takes 6 months. So the people that wouldn't be in a guild may not even get jobs, or they may not hire as many people that are guild affiliated because it's going to cost them more.
Mhm.
Those kind of conversations.
Economics.
Yeah, of course.
That labor shortage is going to create a ton of overtime, which is going to make them pay more anyway versus hiring more people.
Yeah. There you go. Economics discussions. Thank you, Larka. Would Robert like to say something too?
I don't have anything.
He's
Okay.
been drinking a little too much.
Money.
Not enough.
Not enough.
You asked me.
Yeah.
One of the hands comes over, drops a wood plate with some silverware and an accompaniment of the food, just like they've got, and a decent flagon of ale for you. They're all drinking ale, not proper beer. They could drink beer. They're just not.
It was fine. We're the working man.
So, what you been working on there, Richard?
Houses, roofs.
Going up on a roof. And you're a guild man? I mean, I didn't know you were a roofer.
I do a lot of things.
I mean, you told me that last time, but...
A lot of skills are interchangeable between each.
I'm going to guess it's just lining up a nail and hitting it on the head. And it's tearing off all the tile. Oof.
That's the easy part.
Why do I have a feeling you do something a little unorthodox in this situation?
It's not unorthodox. So, what you gotta do is you gotta get like 15 different little crowbars, go right under each one, put a little string around all of them, and pull them on the other side, and they just kind of fling off the building.
Interesting.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Mm.
I don't see that working, but all right.
It's a magic, though.
It must be.
It's always
He inspires the crowbar.
magic.
Let me give you a speech before you do your work.
I was gonna say it's all unseen servant doing the work.
Oh my god.
37 unseen servants all at once.
Joke's on you, I don't even have that spell.
What?
All at once.
Get it?
So, conversations basically about work and whatnot go on for a while.
It's fun.
How long do you stick around?
I mean, if we didn't have any plans, it'd probably be sleep, work, here, until part.
Okay. Was you go to the park now too?
Part.
Oh,
Until the night has come to a close.
sorry, I misunderstood. That's
There
my
you go.
fault. Okay. So, as the night drags on enough, but not too late, the young one, Marco, excuses himself because if he doesn't head home relatively early, it'll be a problem. He still lives with family, and family will come looking for him. So he heads out about 8 to 9 o'clock, leaving just the three of you. The old man doesn't say a whole lot, but he does make the occasional comment or a jibe, depending. Spending most of his time eyeing the service, just constantly looking at people, paying attention to them, mostly the women.
As you do.
It's just what's going on. Past that, Vavart kind of gets to a point in the conversation where, so you know how I mentioned the ministry job, right?
Mm-hmm.
I might have a line on one if you're interested.
Sure.
It'll pay way better than roofing, that's for sure.
Why not? I was getting bored of this anyway.
So, Robert here is going to be probably joining us. He used to work in 10th Company in the South. Worked with the, you're going to love this. He worked with the cavalry artillery. You know, they draw it out, stop, fire, and then pull it again. Though, right now, as far as we know, the job entails convincing as many highborns as we can to agree to a few different contract terms. It sounds like door-to-door job to me, but I don't like that. So I had a little bit of investigative work into it. I didn't want to bring it up before now until I knew for sure. But what it seems is that we're going to have to talk to members mostly of Clan Tiers. Their votes getting... It's unsettling, folks.
Mm.
And the ministry wants to make sure that there's not individuals looking to overturn the norm kind of thing. So it's technically
Okay,
infiltration
gotcha.
work.
I can talk.
He's not saying this any louder or quieter either. He doesn't care if somebody around him hears him. What I think is going on versus what the job says, right? The job is basically we're going to go around, we're going to generally talk to people as a basic survey thing, and it's supposedly selling something for one of the newer companies. Smokescreen, usual. And we're supposed to be disgruntled workers within the company looking for better work. Been given a list of 10 primary and 15 secondary people to speak with. The primary ones, we're trying to basically convince them to hire us on, preferably as house servants, but that's very unlikely. They'll probably just put us in a guild company, which, seeing as you're very skilled at multiple things, you should be able to convince somebody just as well as any of us. My understanding, the pay is upfront, is half, which is around 300 gold. They're going to pay us by the day, which at this point we only have a week, if that left. And then we're going to get 300 on the back end too.
Nice. I'm in. No questions asked?
Just a little more than 4 gold a day.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
All my needs are met, so like, doesn't matter what I'm doing.
Well, he goes to hand you a list of 3 people to start with. If I can pull up my name thing. There we go.
No, I'm thinking much bigger fish.
I don't know, I'm just waiting for it.
No, I got a list, and I'm thinking a couple of people are on that list.
Are
So
you checking it twice?
Well,
when
I
you
know
go
if
through
you
the
were
list, one of them is Vagar Tier. He is a company owner for one of the 3 major crystal mine companies.
I'm just thinking in my head like Jacques Schnee.
Another one is Gisela Tier. And as of right now, she works in the Ministry of Industry. Convincing to get on her staff might be a little more difficult.
Seducer.
I mean, I
That normally
guess.
always works.
Piece of cake.
You are a bard.
Yeah, I'd hate for so-and-so to toss foam noodles at me.
What?
No,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't
You
worry.
wouldn't get it.
You would understand.
I'll tell you later if I remember. I know now.
Sure. Your last one,
Yeah.
I'm not joking here, is Conrad Tier. And I'm really waiting for Zach to make a joke.
Nope.
No?
You're good.
Okay. Not even a smile. I'm
Nope.
surprised.
You're good this time.
I don't know
Okay.
who these people are.
Those are the three that he's going to have you focus on.
Conrad Tier is.
Oh, my bad. Conrad Tier is a councilman. Technically, he would be a state lawyer. It's a good way of looking at him.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, they're a tier. Didn't need to say the state lawyer thing.
You know that you have rights? The law
Well, you
code
don't
of
need-
Balsan says you do.
Well, you don't anymore.
Oh.
Hold on a second.
I still gotta watch Better Call Saul. All my friends talk about it.
So, he's got a 3 on his list. He's going to give 2 to Robert, and then you guys will tackle the remainder at the end.
So the goal is to get on someone's list, all 3 of us.
Preferably each of you getting somebody on the list, either
So-
household or company.
So I don't have to get Vayfar on my list. He doesn't have to get me on his. I just have to get on one of these 3.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's for all 3.
Your primary target is Gisela.
They said no one else can talk to women. Please make it happen.
Oh, Gisela. Thought of a magic.
Oh, good point.
Gisela Blade of Goldnight.
So so I'm trying to get on into their working for them, correct?
As close to them as you can.
Okay. It's gonna take some planning,
If only you had a week to do so.
right?
I mean, technically he does,
I know.
because this isn't a.
That was the funny part.
This is supposed to be in the process of that week. We have approximately 10 days, if that, before they do their vote. I haven't been given what we're supposed to do with the information we collect or what we're supposed to leave behind, but there is a notation in the job that we're supposed to remove and replace. I just don't know what yet because they haven't given it to me.
Reduce,
Okay.
reuse, and recycle.
So so that's on a need to know basis. So if we get in, they'll tell us. If we
That's what
don't,
it sounds like.
That good old need to know basis when you're already in too deep.
Mm-hmm.
hate those fucking jobs.
But $300.
It's gonna be like the rat mine up in, it's gonna be like the rat mine up in the north. Fucking buggers didn't even tell us it was infested. As soon as we got too far in, rats all the way up our fucking boots. It's the worst.
One crawled in my pants. I had a rash for weeks.
Lucky that's all you got. Those buggers can fit in tight spots.
I'll drink to that.
Whew, okay. So
Flavor.
I could try to answer more questions. Most of it's been given to me verbal, so I can't really hand you anything written except the names,
That's fine.
which he scrawled, by the way, on like a local napkin.
That's fine.
Most official of contracts. A bar napkin.
Well, I'm gonna
The
head out
best
then.
ideas and the best
And I'm gonna
contracts.
think about this.
If you decide to accept, go to the ministry's office and let them know that you're in Operation Blackout.
That's not ambiguous or moving at all.
Go into the room, cast darkness, walk
That's
out
what I
the
do.
room.
I could do that.
Yeah. I'm in, bitch.
By the way, don't tell just anyone. Make sure you actually get an officer.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me, I'd like to join coverage.
Hello, everyone. Attention.
My contact as of right now is interested. Well, it's a Calum, which is concerning on my part, and I'm aware of my own family on that regard. But it's one of the highborn. It's Frederick Calum.
I know him.
Why am I not surprised?
You said I could have one person.
Yeah, I did. You decided to just know that person. Done. So, Frederick Calum is one of the 3 current Seelas of Clan Calum. There are usually 5 in a clan, that's it.
You know some pretty important motherfucker.
I mean, I'm a Caleb, so.
It's true.
Yeah.
He used to serve in special operations for the Ministry of War. And he worked directly with the Paladin for 3 of those years. His last known assignment, conveniently, was in the north when a certain other Paladin went down. And he retired after it.
Oh, so he really basically just retired.
Yes.
Like within the last year.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I would have known about him.
I figure. If you get, since you seem to know him, it might be better just to go and talk to him and say you're okay with it. He's running the whole thing anyway.
Oh, perfect.
Who knows? You might end up commanding officer of this little ragtag stupidity.
Just the dumb of us.
We won't make it and we try.
Oh, God, no.
All right.
Okay. Since that got really heavy, I think cheers and good night. He just downs it.
Yeah, sounds good. I toss a couple gold on the table.
They do the same.
Damn, what kind of fucking tab did y'all rack up to start chucking gold on the table?
A pretty good one. And we're getting paid $600, so.
It's not like he's not getting paid 3 or 4 a day right now for him to go, oh, I can give up 1. It's a little insane, but he can do it.
The waitress grabs all this gold and goes, oh, I quit.
Hey, if she wants to, better on her.
It's true.
Just thinking about some poor guardsman sitting in the chair with his couple of coppers a day. Mm-hmm.
You over here, so worried about that?
No, I'm gonna keep thinking about that.
He leaves like 3 coppers as a tip, thinking it's a good tip. Yeah. Sees these assholes dropping 2 gold apiece.
Motherfucker!
Realizing
you're a salary.
Realizing he spent the entire night hitting on that waitress and has no chance now. In his mind, anyway.
He didn't have a chance anyway. Richard was in the room.
Yeah,
it's true. But that's because of Richard. It has nothing to do with the gold.
Yeah.
But that's not how he thinks. So now he's going to have 2 or 3 more cups, and the tip's going to get smaller because he only has so many copper in his pocket.
Yeah, help him forget.
God, make me feel bad. Gonna buy
That
the
was the
entire
point.
round.
Go and find a random guardsman and give him some gold weight.
It wouldn't be the first time that's happened. All right, so week goes by. Towards the very end of that week, you get a visitor of all people.
Oh, I didn't know.
If he's green, I run.
What?
Opens up the door.
Knocking on the door. I told you I'd eat you.
I have come to eat Richard. I am hungry now.
No.
All right.
I'm just going to be in the lake for a swim. I'm not coming back.
All right.
The
So
lake?
pretty sure that's like illegal.
For a crocodile?
You've got a head start. It's
Hey,
fine.
we don't know if he can swim. I've never seen
I'm not
Andrew
racing.
swim.
I'm not racing a crocodile
Hey, it could have been a
in the water.
It'll
You
go about
gotta
as well as
say.
you expect.
All right.
So what shows up is a messenger with just a simple package looking for... I forgot your tribe. Mine just literally went...
The Quran.
It
Karat.
starts with a K. Apostrophe R. A-A-H. Adrit Kara. There you go. I miss Leon.
What?
He's a bard. I got the singing, and it was in character.
You
but
can still
Adric,
sing as a cleric.
Adric doesn't sing.
Package for Adric.
Padrid for Akage.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll pretend this is the package.
Yeah, sure.
A cookie. No, okay, I'm sorry. What's in the package?
Is there a cookie?
What?
I heard cookie.
Oh. You open up the package, and it's a introductory packet, a welcome letter, a robe that's loosely sized for you. It's probably going to need to be taken in.
Okay.
And a general schedule, along with a please go and meet this person kind of note on it.
Oh, boy.
Courtesy of one very useful contact.
Does it start with a P?
Doesn't say who it is.
Your friend.
Find your BFF.
No, it literally says courtesy of one useful contact.
I love useful
I
content.
feel like this is Dominus flexing.
No. I am fairly certain this is Priya.
No, Dominus would have got his size right.
Yeah. So, was it an outfit or a gown or?
It's basically a scholar's scholar uniform.
So there's no
uniform,
cookies.
Packet.
So it's a
Welcome
robe, a
packet.
jacket, an undershirt, and slacks.
Oh no, I'm talking about the other stuff in the.
Oh, it's a welcome package.
Okay.
And no cookies, so I throw a temper tantrum.
Does it say where to go?
Yes.
All right.
Well, specifically who to go talk to.
All right. With that.
Who'd that be?
Yeah.
Who'd that be? Oh, where'd it go? I literally just had it in front of me.
Is that it?
Stop
Don't
clicking
say
on
that and look at me.
things. Wow. I'm gonna start some shit. Hi, where'd you go? Oh, okay. So your contact is in the Archaeoeconom.
How do you spell that?
Archeo.
And then Arcana, and I spell it.
In the Socio-Arcanum, which is an academy. It's the first academy here in the capital. You were to meet with the department head.
Meet with. I think you are correct. Meet with department head. They want me to go to the school. All right. So then I'm assuming I can just go and do that then?
Can if you'd want to. The actual sessions won't start for another month.
Okay.
But, yeah, you can go whenever you want.
I go to the Socio-Arcanum then.
Okay. So, when you arrive at this place, it's... because it's in a city, you would expect that there's a whole lot of crap all around it. And there is, but outside of its boundaries. When you actually approach the gates for the place, it has giant hedges to kind of keep it more natural looking as it's removed. And it has a series of 3-tiered stairs that go up. You know, up, landing, up, landing, up, landing.
Yeah.
As you get about halfway up, give or take, you can actually see the school more properly. And it's actually not that big. But it's built like somebody would build a state building for government, not like you would build a school. It's a 3-story building that's got that front square facade. And then, the piece that comes out where the, what do you call it? Brain just...
It's got like pillars and stuff.
It has pillars at the doorway and stairs that go up into it to access the foyer, but that's actually pushed out from the structure. Unlike a lot of the structures in the capital, with the exception of stuff like the ministry buildings and some of the clan buildings, this is actually from carved marble, the whole thing. So think like how Roman buildings would have been built. It's not really bleached white. It's just whatever strata the marble had. So there's streaks of black and brown that are throughout it that just look like little rivers running through it more than anything. All the mortar binding it, though, has this metallic sheen. So there's some form of mortaring between them and not just sheer weight that holds the whole place together.
Okay.
The windows that are in it were put in as an afterthought. Originally, this building did not have any windows. You can tell because there's no structure for it. there's just wood that's been attached on the outside, and it looks like giant clamps with a piece of glass in between it that kind of holds it there. It has been made nice and ornate by knotwork that's been carved into it, but it is clearly not part of the original structure.
All right.
And it's replaced as the wood ages like normal. There's a fountain in front, but the fountain only has a single statuary on it and is not big enough to really do anything but kind of like have maybe 10 people all the way around it sitting on it, which makes it look incredibly tiny in the space that it's in. The single statue that's there, though, has in memory of knowledge. It doesn't actually say who it is, but the individual is very androgynous. They are.
Is this an established person, or am I making you do more work by rolling a history or arcana check?
You can go ahead and make a history check.
All right. Give me thine guidance. That is going to be a 21.
Okay. As you read the name, you recall something of relevance from the book.
Oh.
Oh, that reading helped.
It sure did.
Learning is good.
Learning is good.
I need to make sure I have the right name, so if I use the wrong one, it's a problem.
I've been there, yeah. I've
I
been
have
there.
like 7 or 8 names.
Oops, that's the wrong name, players. Forget you ever heard that.
It just says
Shavad.
Shavad. And how do you spell that?
Shavod.
Oh my god. I said I got it right.
I mean, I don't go that crazy with the names.
No, I'm like, that's good enough.
Give me a moment. I just want to check something.
He's gonna go back to the book now.
Well, see, I like double checking. So.
It's the book.
A book.
But the figure is totally androgynous. They're in a school uniform that looks a little antiquated compared to what you were given, but not extremely so. A little bit more militant looking than your current ones. And attached to it is a branch. You're not sure what species it might be because the leaves are different for each of the small little twigs that come off the branch. That's all it's holding. And just kind of holds it at its side. Has an arm kind of crossed at just below, like the pectoral area, where it's on top of the stomach, if you will.
Kind of like the Statue of Liberty, the way she crosses her arm.
Yeah, it's kind of like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but instead it's down and it's just kind of there.
Yeah,
and like a lot of statues used to hold laurels.
Mm-hmm.
Same concept.
So, would I know that this statue of Shavad, that Shavad somehow represents time or something like that?
Shavad religiously represents only change.
Oh, well, close enough.
Yeah. It represents change and everything that comes with change.
Change and...
So it represents everything. Really?
It's the idea of experience.
Okay. That is very good to know. I am glad. I would proceed further into the building at that point.
When you walk into the vestibule, it's square at first that comes into a rotunda. And the rotunda itself, there's a desk that greets you pretty quickly with 2 people just kind of manning it. It's a old wood desk that looks like a writer's desk that got extended for 2 people instead of a normal one. Past that, above you, there is a crystal chandelier that is kept together with lead.
Ooh.
So it's made the same way you make stained glass, but instead it's holding crystal shards within it to give it that light bouncing effect. Okay. Above that is an oculus, which again has that clamped glass. Originally that would have been open. In this case, it no longer is. And sunlight comes in, hits the crystal, and bounces all over the room to kind of cast light.
Fancy.
Meaning at night, this place is pitch black because you see no reliefs, sconces, or stations for any lighting of any kind. The floor itself is hardwood. Nothing really truly special. It's sanded, polished, nice and clean. Off to one side is a wing, and on the other side is another wing, and they just like hallways.
All right.
Very nondescript and what's the right word? Very
Uniform?
Very
Yeah.
samey.
uniform would be a good way to put it.
All right. So there's people at the desk, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
I approach and say, "Hello there. I have come in search of the Arcanum. I think you got that right. Department head. I have a welcome package that has invited me here to talk with them."
May I see your paper?
I hand the paper.
One of those weird screens on Crystal shows up again,
Ooh.
and they just kind of leaf through it. You see a light come off of it as they're holding the paper up to it, like it scans it. As it scans it, the paper dissolves. And it seemingly shows up on the screen because it's crystal. You can see right through it. Like more like light bouncing around inside. And they seemingly authenticate it because it's going over it and seeing if it is real.
Yeah.
And you get like an OK symbol that shows up.
All right.
Moving the screen away, they bring up another one, which is just a directory. Looking down it, you are looking for Igra.
How's that spelled?
It should be I-G-R-A, actually. It should be really straightforward.
Okie doke. Always have to ask just in case. Arcanum. Alright.
They put their glasses back on as they look away from the screen and look at you. And you will find them on the left wing in 305.
Writing that down even though I probably don't have to.
They're currently in class. Please sit in the back.
Thank you very much. May you have a wonderful day.
You too.
Wonderful. And then I walk down to the room that the person specified, and I go and sit in the back.
Okay. What you see, as we examine the material that is present right about on this part of the strata, is an infusion within the ley lines. You can see the breaks within it. These are not air holes where water once flowed within the geology, but instead open sources that we can see within it. There is a black marks that are here that look like scorching, that is from fire-based or heat driven through from friction. All the forms in the ley lines as they travel through the strata leave their remnant marks, usually in the form of scorch marks. Now, there will be a test on Friday, and I will expect your homework by the 5th week. If you cannot have it ready, then make sure you get with me before then. Class dismissed.
I'm going to stay behind real quick and ask the professor a question.
Oh my.
Some random person's going to go up. You had your chance to be a professor. It's far too late for that. You collapsed a mountain on yourself.
Asking for a friend.
So as the class begins to funnel out, I would make my way up to who I assume is Igra, and do a bit of a greeting and everything.
You should approach Igra. Igra is a portly individual who does not care to make themselves look more presentable than they must. Their hair is kind of like Albert Einstein messy, though it is nice and dark brown. They have a small bit of maybe 2 or 3 days growth on their face.
Okay.
Their uniform is clean, well fitted for their general size, but intentionally loose. Because of the way they carry themselves, you find very quickly that they're far more agile than their size would suggest, though they are not on average height. They're just in unaverage girth.
Okay. Greetings. I have been instructed to come and talk with you.
You must be Adrit.
Correct.
I expect you within my class as soon as the semester begins.
And when would that be?
As soon as it begins.
As soon as it begins.
Should be 6 weeks from today.
6 weeks from today.
Albert has paid decent money to make sure the school accepted you. I'm going to teach you personally, besides the classes. You will be taking an exception class, along with 2 of my specialty classes on ley line junctions, in addition to the general schedule. I hear you're a bit of a scholar, and will have no problem with this.
I am confident in my abilities, but did you say Albert?
Yes.
Curious. I will have to go and thank him once I get the opportunity. In that case, it has been a pleasure meeting you. How should I address you? Professor?
I believe that was obvious.
I'm sorry, this is my first time visiting the capital, so not entirely sure of the norm.
Perhaps if I consider you a friend, you can use my name, but for now, Professor suffice.
Then in that case, I will be seeing you in 6 weeks. Thank you very much. And with that, I give
Fair health.
a bit of a wave and shoo away that fly.
Shoo fly, don't bother me.
And I say, Senatos guide thee. And I walk out.
Did you kill the fly and that's why you prayed?
No, I was... The fly's still alive. He's just
He's
being
over
a,
there.
he's being a
He's
prick.
chilling.
He's just being a big old bitch.
And then I walk out and I return back home.
Okay.
And I'm all like, wow, I'm in a university now. That
You know what
happened
I
rather
actually wanna
swiftly.
Sure.
Congratulations, you're in debt.
Again.
Again.
To 2 tiers.
One would say he's climbing the ladder.
Well, now I need to add to my notes for Albert. Oh, come
What
on.
happens when you both call them at the same time?
Internet, don't be doing this.
The one at higher station definitely proceeds.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We might be
Lamel
having
got me
internet
paid back
issues.
Well, no, at
I
least not yet. Can you check it, just in case?
I mean, it looks fine at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have connection.
Same here.
It could just be a
It could be a tower issue, too. Temporarily.
or a bandwidth issue.
Well, remember it's usually the router or to reset, so it's a router issue.
I'm gonna freak out the adults. I am going to start glass blowing.
I'm gonna check something, so I'll be right back.
What?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
How did that be? I would like to know how.
Me too.
Well, first and foremost, you
I'm gonna-
eat up a bunch of.
I'm gonna teach myself how to glass blow as a 3-year-old child. It's gonna be great.
Where are you
But
gonna
that's what I'm doing with my week.
I would like to know the steps to this, so that way Lamel knows how to react to his house on fire.
Yeah, so you gotta we don't have a lot of furniture, so I had to make do with the fireplace that's in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
And I got, the fire poker tools and whatnot that we have over there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know
What's the
what
rod?
material it is that starts it, so I just play with a bunch of different materials initially until I find something that actually functions as glass. So, glass.
Superheated sand. No, not just that, but
I'll play with a couple different materials at first, and then I kind of, stick them all in the fire, see what happens, and then eventually one of them starts to mold and form, and then I lay it on the ground because I don't have a table, and I start to hit it with a hammer.
What?
So there's going to be a couple of different ways that she attempts this. Day one is when you catch her throwing random things in the fire and observing their responses.
See, I'm a firm believer in fuck around and find out, so I'm not immediately going to scold her.
Okay, cool. Deck safe.
what's this black powder?
That's a 5, and I don't know what my dex is.
2.
It's a +2, so that's a 7.
So you burn yourself a little bit.
It's fine.
Not worried about the damage because you're going to keep sleeping. I'm going to just keep track of it for my sake.
I'm fine.
We are in fact having some issues.
The stream is still
Right,
going.
so if you remember, things that are currently going on are fine, but further, I guess, inquiries on the internet, like if you open up a new tab and try to search something, it won't go through. Like for my phone, D&D Beyond, I can't use it for my character sheet.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'll have to reset the router, be ready to reconnect the stream, I guess.
You want to do
Can
that
you-
at the break?
Oh, I can't check my sheet
Can
until
you-
then for sure.
That's fine.
Turn off Wi-Fi on your phone and use.
That one.
I will try it.
Figure that's better than restarting the whole stream if we can.
Right. Well, I also don't know.
Hey, I said if. I didn't
Oh, it's
say it was
currently
a
still
guarantee.
going.
It is currently working.
Gotcha.
As you heard, we're having some technical difficulties.
Yes.
So yeah.
So day one is unsuccessful as
I
you
call
burn
that
your
success. I don't know
hand.
what you're talking about.
as you burn your hand and don't get to witness the results of the materials.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Day two is probably a few days later.
So that's fine. I'm gonna keep trying.
Because I doubt you're gonna be able to hold a rod with a burnt hand. I don't know how bad your hand is burnt.
Not enough to like keep her from doing it, but enough to teach her small
It's
lessons.
fine. I'll hold it with
Alright,
mage
so
hand.
she very clearly hasn't learned her lesson, so fuck around, find out still is prominent here, so please go ahead, burn yourself again.
There's reasonable that Adrit comes across you just as much as Lamel.
Oh, that's probably. I'm still gonna keep doing it.
Richard's not. He's on a roof.
That's fine. I'm still gonna keep doing it.
Okay. So day two, you throw a bunch of random materials in. Most of it is from the patio out back.
Mm-hmm.
And you managed to get a glowing rod. That glowing rod, you ripped off one of the patio furniture frames.
So I didn't need it. It's fine.
When I mean rip off, I mean like you bend it on the ground until it broke. And it didn't break clean. It more like bent, warped, and then you just kind of kept doing it until
Okay,
something happened. And somehow nobody heard you or saw you. It starts to glow. You don't know if that's the right response. The other stuff keeps getting turned into ash.
Well, that one's different, so that one looks like it's good.
Okay. Is that the one you're going to take out?
Yeah.
Okay. When you go to take it out, deck safe.
It's a 14 plus 2, so it's a 16.
So you're smart enough to feel the heat before you touch it.
And I'm going to use Mage Hand to assist, because I did burn myself last time.
So you watch as your daughter starts to reach for this rod that you know is metal. She stops, and she gets really close to it, and then she kind of pulls her hand back and doing like a little like puppeting looking motion, and the rod starts lifting its way out of the fire.
So am I there, right?
You could be there too.
I'm gonna just quickly just rush over, like, nope, and just grab the rod out of the air and try to, like, put it in some place that is gonna cool it down.
That would be the floor of the fireplace. Just leave it in there.
Well, the fire's not going to cool it down.
No, it's not.
I instead will... We have, like, a little bit of, like, rock outside, right?
You're gonna run it back
You
out
have a
back.
fucking lake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we do have a lake.
I'm just gonna yeet it into the lake, then.
Okay. I need a deck save for you when you go to grab it because you are grabbing it hastily.
Yeah.
To not grab the wrong spot.
I mean, even if I grab the wrong spot, I'm fine. I got fire resist.
I see.
I'm just like, this is a child. I don't give a fuck.
That is a 16 deck save.
Okay, so he does exactly what he describes. And he gets hucked in the lake.
I'm going to burst into tears.
That's fine.
You are not to grab hot things like that.
I didn't. You did.
Your child is very trying at times, Lamel.
She's correct.
Did you put that in the fireplace?
Mm-hmm.
You are not to put things in the fireplace without permission.
I give me permission.
Without permission from Lamel.
Okay.
You need to be supervised, is the important.
All right.
At what point
Says
does
the
Adrian
father.
realize that Lamel was standing there?
He wasn't doing anything?
I was watching the whole time. I'm a firm believer in fuck around and find out. That's the parenting style.
It
I
takes
know
a
what I'm
moment.
doing on day 3, though.
It takes a moment for it to click, and then Adrian just turns to Lamel and says, "Why did you not do anything?"
Because she wasn't going to hurt herself. Yet.
She could have, and she could have hurt others.
Well, Adrit, let me go ahead and ask you a question here. As far as growing up, Did you hurt
you do
yourself
that?
as a child?
I had many accidents, yes. I was reprimanded for them.
And did you learn from those accidents?
I learned when I was smacked.
So, think of her hurting herself as someone smacking her. It is just as effective, if not more.
It is not. 3rd-degree burns are a lot more permanent compared to a smack.
That is correct. But you'll learn just that much more.
You are an awful parent.
Day 3, which is a couple days later again.
So,
We're getting to the end of the week. Last chance.
So day 3, I mage hand it out of the lake, so I have it again.
How do you
I'm
find it?
It's fine. I had a couple days for this.
Okay, fair enough.
I am then
She probably spoke to a fish and found it.
I am then going to illusion Lamel supervising me as I do this. And I'm gonna do this.
Supervising.
There's 2 of them.
And I'm gonna do the same thing I was trying to do yesterday.
Just staring at the child and the 2 lamels. Just...
Okay. So I'm going to loom over your shoulder here. Anna.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to accomplish with the fireplace?
We'll see.
See, that's not good enough. I need to know what your goal is so I can, if not help you, tell you it's an incredibly stupid idea.
Art changed him.
Art? I'm a firm believer in the arts. All right, let's go ahead and continue.
So I'm going to keep my illusion of Lamel up while I do this. I'm going to do the same thing I was doing yesterday.
Okay, it goes in the fire. After a while, it starts to glow
Yeah, I'm going to
a little.
mage hand it out.
Okay.
I'm going to...
Feel free to interject yourself whenever you want.
I'm gonna walk
I am
up.
being supervised.
Yeah, well, so I'm gonna walk up to the illusory Lamel.
I will need an intelligence save for that.
Okay.
Well, if he interacts with it, yeah.
Well,
He's walking up to it. Fair enough.
yeah, I feel like I can figure out based on the one that was looming over your shoulder and the one that wasn't.
Okay.
And I just kind of on the illusory one, like there are no consequences for me for doing this.
It's also a DC 11. So
I like to imagine
You'll probably
you
tap
went
through it.
over to the actual Lamel. You did imagine him looming over her shoulder asking those questions.
There are no
No,
consequences.
I'm letting her do her
I'm
thing.
with Josh on that one. But I'm gonna allow it.
Roll for me anyway.
Because it's
See
not
if
my
you get the
decision
right
anyway.
one.
Gotcha.
This has nothing to do with me
I'm
anymore.
totally kidding.
So what were you saying?
So like when you,
you
walk
thought
in,
it was the illusion. It was actually Lamel.
correct, like she's just trying to pull one over for you, and you're like, Lamel would never do this.
You go and grab the actual Lamel.
That is the real one. Apologies. Fake one.
So he's gonna pop your illusion for sure.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he didn't.
Does it make a sound when it goes out?
I mean, it cries.
Gone.
It's being strangled.
Okay.
It whines in pain and misery.
Nothing like what Lamel would actually sound like.
Such a
Correct.
fucking blood-curdling scream.
Wilhelm's all the way out.
Oh my gosh.
With no restriction, even though Adrid's sitting there strangling the crap out of it.
Alright, so I know I said glass blowing, but this is clearly blacksmithing.
It is now.
I know, it's fine.
Look.
I couldn't find glass, I found metal, it works. It's fine. And so I'm gonna mage hand it onto the ground. I'm gonna say, Biscuit, hammer. And Biscuit's gonna hand me a hammer. He's a good fox.
Does anybody want to guess what happens when you put heated metal onto stonework that's decorative?
I'm not going to allow it.
It's happening.
Biscuit's running at this point with a hammer in its mouth. It has multiple times had to stop and get a regrip and to drag it.
But before it hits the floor, I'm going to attempt to kick it back into the fireplace.
Okay. Just make an athletics.
Athletics.
I'm just fucking with my art today.
That is a 16.
Okay.
I burst into tears again.
It goes flying back into the hearth.
Do you now see why this is a poor idea?
I've done nothing dangerous.
You do not have a say in this.
Lamel's like, yeah, she almost just ruined my floor.
No, that's exactly it, yes. Property damage is not okay.
That is part of the thing I was trying to avoid.
Floor bad?
If we're going to do this, let's do it outside.
All right. I illusion outside on the floor, right here, grass.
That
And
is,
I mage handed back onto the grass.
that is not what I meant.
What's happening?
All I heard is we get a pizza stove outside.
It's floating out of the thing, goes back in. Okay.
No. Stop.
Just waiting for Lamel
Cheers.
to get this kid.
Hold on, let me see if I can...
This is gonna go so bad.
Oh, God.
The week is going great.
Or me and the child have to have a fucking, like, actual fight. Because this is, like, one of the most undisciplinable children in the world.
Not to imagine she has magic that no child of her age should have.
Fireball.
Right?
I like
My
you
daddy hit me.
Oh, you don't want the ground scorched?
No, the whole house is gone! Yay!
I didn't do it earlier. You're welcome.
I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy 3 times. First, I'm going to make it so that my voice booms up to 3 times as loud. Second, I'm gonna cause harmless tremors. Third, I'm gonna make my eyes glow red. And I'm gonna look towards...
He's gonna become an anime character.
I'm gonna look towards Anna and go, Child, stop this behavior. Dost thou not remember yon tale of boy who was a bitch? I read it to you just the other day.
I'm gonna stare into your eyes,
was a
and I
bitch.
need a wisdom save.
Oh, God,
What?
you chose my
What's
best
my child?
save.
Did I really?
I like to imagine your mother's just standing at the doorway going,
Welcome to my fucking life, guys.
no, she's just sighing because she's just tired.
How does
She's
a,
tired.
how
Yeah,
does a
she's-
dirty 20 sound?
she's
That
been doing
sounds
this
way
for a
better
couple
than
years.
DC 11.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the child's been talking for a full year doing this
Well,
crap.
you're not charmed.
I didn't think so.
Did you know she charmed you? Or she tried to?
Will you stop your behavior if I take you out for ice cream?
Richard pops in. Yes.
I don't believe now is the time to be rewarded.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
Punch her in the
Takes
face.
child,
Toss her in the face.
bends over.
How much health do you got?
Ooh.
And that's that scene's gonna stop.
Just
With the... Yeah, that's where the scene's gonna stop.
And a bag of ice.
If you wake up with a tidal wave in your room, that's your fault, not mine.
You're gonna have to wake up with a tidal wave in
Our
your room
room.
just to
Thank
deal
you.
with that handprint. Alright, so the week goes by. There is an event in the local version of the Coliseum that someone used to perform in.
Was it me?
Would you like to take this one?
Oh, so this is a big, spectacular event.
Ooh.
Headlined by the Continental Familia against any oncoming challengers. And it is a fort battle. Simply put, they built a very simple fort-like structure on each side of the arena. And it's a basic game of capture the flag, but mix in with a little bit of blood sport.
Would you say it's wonderful?
I would say it's wonderful. If you are made to bleed, you are sidelined. The first team to grab the opposing team's flag and bring it back to your other team's side will end the bout. Once the Continental Familia has handedly won this affair, Lamel takes center stage.
Did I get a watch for any of this, or was I?
Sure, you can watch this one if Adrit's here.
Yeah, you're just sitting on my lap.
Seems like poor decision making, but all right.
And you got like nachos or something. Just nacho.
Why not, Joe?
Why not? That's the last thing I can remember eating at a large
I was trying to
event
see
like
whether or
that.
not I was allowed to see this, but I'm
Can-
not allowed to cast fire in the house.
Can Mexican cuisine
Are you in the
now be
house?
the official?
It's just chips and cheese.
I imagine they hand out like turkey legs
Okay.
and like giant briny sausages at these kinds of events.
I mean, there'll be bread kind of like pita. I mean, that would be available just fine. You could have that and
Thank
cheese.
Okay.
Corn dog, if you will.
You have
That's
pita nachos.
Potatoes.
You better trademark that and fast.
Anyway, go on.
Lamel takes center stage and begins a speech. It has come to my attention that I, Lamel Tyr, have made some of you angry with the things I said, 3 weeks ago now?
Woo!
Good pussies.
But I've listened, and you paid. So I've come to deliver retribution to you all. It seems that someone was so hurt by what I said that they hired assassins to kill me. Well, I'm still here. So I figured you probably paid a lot of good money for these assassins, so I'll let them have one last chance to get their money's worth. Bring them out! And I imagine one of the members of my familia brings the assassin out, and they're beaten within an inch of their life.
Mhm.
Black and blue, tattered clothing, a sack over his head, and he is pushed to the ground. I walk over, take the sack off his head, cut the restraints, and simply allow him to stand and throw him a sword. Come on! Make it worth your buyer's while.
So in this house,
We roll for initiative!
for a man down on his luck and beating the hell, he's got a great initiative. He's got a 22.
Mine's a 16.
Oh, he gets first swing.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since Adrid is here watching,
Mm-hmm.
and he sees this, would he see that the assassin is like beat within an inch of his life already?
Sure.
And how far is this assassin?
It depends on where
Between the range
If
of
we're
my
center
spell.
stage, that's probably quite some distance.
Yeah, I'd say a minimum of 100 feet, but it depends on where you think you... Would you have given them tickets
I go
or made them buy their own tickets?
I would have given them tickets.
Okay, so I'd say about 150 feet. Minimum.
150 feet, okay.
No more than 200.
150 feet. Fuck. Okay. Well, just for your information, although I won't be in the arena, I rolled a 20 for initiative.
Oh my god, Adrian's gonna get in on your plan.
Oh, no.
I think Adric's going to actively go against it.
You never know.
I would definitely go against this plan too.
I think it's fucked up. Outside of character, incredibly base, but in character, what you're doing is wrong, no!
Did Richard go to this?
Sure, why not?
Bardic inspiration.
Or gives it to the guy?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Listen,
If you plan to get involved, you have to roll initiative. I'm just telling you that now.
6.
don't do anything stupid. But you're on your own here. Good luck.
Ooh, big die.
Big thunky thunk.
Big clunky. Alright, but no, I'm not doing anything, obviously, and it's the guy's turn first anyway, so...
Well, we already know what he's capable of, but you took his weapons. You gave him his regular sword.
Mm-hmm.
And-
It's a short sword, by the way.
That's fine. That's what he was
Probably
using
a little
before.
rusted.
So, tetanus?
I mean,
Well, for tetanus
Maybe.
sack.
All right. Well, he's gonna do his best to look around, and of course, I'm assuming your familia members are still relatively nearby.
there's no way out. Yeah.
Okay.
If he tries to run, he's dead regardless.
Okay.
So,
Are they hidden?
a couple are. There's two in obvious sight within 30 feet of him.
But they're not like training a bow on him or something, right?
No.
So the ones that aren't definitely are good at sniping.
At the gates, yeah.
All right, so he's going to attack with disadvantage because he's probably half blind at this point and partially lame. Ooh, this is not nice. Why do I roll a natural 20 when a guy's on his last leg?
Because he's got to go out in a blaze of glory. I welcome it. It's fun.
Somehow he does 12 damage to you as he runs it into your shoulder. But he can't pull it back out, so there's that. Because, you know.
All right, well, it's definitely not my turn. It's Adrit's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm casting thaumaturgy to make my voice 3 times as loud, and I say,
Lamel, this is not right, what you are doing. It is incredibly brutal. This man may not deserve his life, but this is not the way.
Hey, can you put that on me too?
no, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Because I was saying,
Actually, well, let me check.
Bardic Inspiration is about to get very...
Yeah, no, I only have, wait.
Let's follow the sound of my voice and beat whoever is speaking.
Yeah, my voice is...
Every time Lamel hits, cutting words, miss.
Yeah, no, that...
This would be so messed up. All
They
right.
actively kill me in the arena.
They might.
No, that's my...
Your friends are really not friendly.
I mean, I'm not gonna throw spells at Lamel, but I'm not, in favor of what he's doing.
That's cool.
But that's my turn.
I'm going to roll for the audience to see if they can figure out who said it.
And they all kill me! Yay!
That's not really all that high.
I know who said it because I'm next to him.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the point is IDing it
No, I know.
versus just being somebody in the crowd that
Oh, I
can
know.
just do it.
And then I turn to Richard, actually, before the end of my turn, and say, if need be, you watch after her.
Fuck.
Like, damn, I should have got involved.
This is becoming more of an issue than it needed to be.
Don't worry, it's going to be quick either way. Go ahead.
So, big bright lights and an arrow pointing at the dude on the ground that says, "This could be you." And then a firework.
What was that thing we had like so many games ago where we could just give dice away?
You give us inspiration, yeah, not bardic inspiration.
She's getting inspiration
Yeah.
for that.
Oh!
Is that just like, you've got to be shitting me?
You can have that.
Holy shit!
That's my turn.
Oh. Holy fuck.
Go ahead.
God. I almost want to change my plans now.
I don't remember how inspiration works, guys.
You can turn something into advantage, for instance. You can reroll.
Okay.
Who am I
cool.
kidding? I'm gonna make
I don't know how to mark that
a
on here.
fucking attack with my trident.
Okay.
Is there an inspiration spot?
That is a 23 to hit.
Is above at 11. It's going to hit him. He's in clothing.
Oh, I just
Mhm.
click it on. Okay.
Alright, that is 11 damage.
Finish him however you want to.
I imagine that he is still like trying to pull the sword out of my shoulder, and so I simply take the trident into my offhand and I extend it into his throat.
Okay.
Right there from the standing position as I watch him fall limp to the ground.
Con did not shoot first.
I have delivered what I have promised to you. You have paid. You now get blood. And I do a long bow.
Firework.
Please gain a point of infamy.
That's 2 points.
It was very public.
Oh, yeah. It's certainly fucking fun.
A little public.
By the way, any more than 10 minutes pass, I need those dice back.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
That really doesn't have the right attachment to what just happened. Or at least not one I want to apply.
Man, just when you think you know a guy.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Are you guys somehow surprised by this?
A little bit. It's getting a lot darker than I thought Lamel would go.
Adrian's not really surprised, but he's just disappointed.
So
I'm
do you
sorry, Dad.
do
Yeah.
anything at this point?
What have you done?
Are you saying this from the audience, or are you actually jumping in?
That's yet to be decided. I'm going to be in the audience for now.
I just need to know where you're
Okay,
at.
in the audience for now, still.
While I'm still in the arena, I will take that short sword and sever his head.
As you're talking.
As he does this,
Don't.
I have to.
No, I'm putting my hand on your shoulder and going, don't. Believe me,
This is wrong.
it is, but this is not the spot to do it.
He is the one in power of this arena here. If anything, the blame for what I do goes on him.
But they could kill you. If he's in power right now, yeah, probably.
Is my life worth any more than anyone else's?
I like to think so, yes.
Yeah.
I would not think so. Every life is precious. What Lamel has done is a sin. And I jump
And
off.
he will be...
I'm pretty sure he forfeited his
You could
life.
strength contest him.
You could strength contest me.
And
It's too bad you gave me the
inspiration. Killing him last time anyway.
Yes, but
And killed several others.
yeah, I'm aware I gave them the chance to
That
surrender.
sounds like hypocrisy.
Your mother.
Your mother was a very nice lady.
I hold fast to my ideals. Thank you.
Double check we're still there, because this just disconnected.
We are currently still going according to this, but that
It is
could
usually a
still
little
be
bit
delayed.
behind.
Yeah.
If that says we're live, we should still be live.
It says we are. This just disconnected.
Yeah, so as long as the one that we're streaming says live, and did the timer up top restart, or is it still like an hour and change in?
Change it.
Then we're fine.
I just have no way to control it now.
That's fine.
That's literally not fine.
I know. I don't know how to fix that.
Okay, well, we'll figure that out.
We just disconnect the internet, and then we're not live anymore. That's how we go to break.
No,
Unplug it.
that might be what we have to do. Okay. Apologies. Still technical difficulties.
So, yeah, if he would have liked to contest that, he can, right?
No. I'm trying to be the voice of reason here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to physically contest you because I know I can't.
No, you could. I have a 10 in strength.
Same. But,
So if you roll higher, that doesn't matter.
actually, I have a 9 in strength.
Okay, you have a -1.
So it's rock, paper, scissors at this point.
Yeah, it's rock, paper, scissors.
Or flip a coin.
You can
No.
contest it if you want, but you don't have to.
I'm hoping my words will sway you, but they have not.
Alright, well. Falls flat on his face. I don't know. It's up to you.
Do a superhero landing.
It's like a 15
Real quick,
figure.
both of you make a perception check. Adrit's at disadvantage.
Okay.
Should I also?
No, it's because it's what you've done.
Oh.
Okay, I got an 18.
They've not acknowledged your cast at all.
I
Because they don't know.
Fair.
I think that's a 21. Perception 21.
Yeah, I got an 18.
Okay, then you both, while in the heat of this, it dawns on you that the child cast something into the arena while you were talking.
What'd she cast?
There's more fireworks going off, and
I-
the skywriting is still there.
I look towards the assassin, the head and everything, right?
Well, he's still an assassin. You don't need to air quote him just because he's dead.
Okay, well, can I roll like an arcana or something to try and see if it's not an illusion then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that should succeed. It's 23.
No, it's definitely an illusion. It's just not that powerful. It's just enough to be an effect.
So that's not a real person then.
No, the person's real. I'm talking about
Okay, that's what I was asking.
No, the person's real. 100% not an illusion.
So he's.
Yeah, I
he's
was
dead.
like, I think you answered that wrong based on what
I
you were
did.
getting
I
at.
did. That's my fault.
No, that's fine.
The writing is an illusion. The person is quite real.
Was.
There's no spell work in that, if that's what you're looking for.
Okay. Well, in that case, I would have noticed that she cast something, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what you guys were rolling for.
But it doesn't really matter to me. I'm still trying to jump in. So at that point, I do finally jump in.
What did you cast?
Power word distraction.
No.
You are walking away with the head yet? Or are you still doing the parade of it?
I'm still
Don't
parading
cast
it around
things.
and relishing in the
Mission.
glory that people are
I'm
cheering
an
for me.
adult.
There are some, and it's
I get
significant
some
enough that the volume is present,
I can't.
of more
control
pure
it.
shock, and a few people that are getting up and leaving in protest, which does happen, but it's larger numbers than normally ever would.
Mhm.
Because, again, most of these bouts are not to their death. That's what makes it unusual,
Yes.
more than anything. So
I'm just
it's a
imagining.
very conflicted reaction.
I'm imagining that scene of Jotaro and Dio where it's like, dun, dun, you know what I'm talking about, the walking scene.
Mm-hmm.
Get as close as you would like.
Oh, then come as close as you like.
So you hop the fence?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's gonna be like several bows shot at me.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's
On the
heavily
bright
guarded.
side, they weren't prepared to shoot you, so there's a 15 hit.
Nope.
Okay. So one thunks kind of near you. All the rest fall quite short. And the arrow, when they strike, the shaft dissolves.
Back
Exactly.
Alright. I continue my approach.
Am I supervised at the moment?
By
By
Richard,
him,
in theory.
In theory.
Just checking.
I would allow Adrit to approach.
Lamel.
As he's getting close to start speaking with me, I will toss him the head of the assassin.
Oh, this is not going to be good.
Ugh. Now that death has freed this man, maybe we could get some information out of him.
I will not play second fiddle to your game, Lamel.
This isn't a game.
The man just died.
That man gave up his life. He attempted to kill us in our home.
I'm aware of what he tried to do. That does not make this any more justifiable. A public execution is not the death that anyone deserves, except for a tyrannical despot.
Quick side question. How common are public executions?
They're pretty rare.
Continue.
It'd still be rare for me.
No, I'm just
yeah.
in general. I didn't
No,
know,
no,
how,
I know,
how the
I
city
know.
works in
They're
terms
pretty
of
rare.
that.
You'll find out people have been executed, people get sentenced for it, but the Ministry of Law tends to do it behind closed doors.
We were attacked in our own home. This much is true. A fitting death would have been a death for him there. But out in the open here, where you've prolonged his life, and we have attempted to gain as much information from him as possible, what you have done is not only disrespect his soul and his body, but yourself. You have put yourself in more danger, and thus you have put myself, Richard, and more importantly, Anna in more danger. This is a foolish decision you have made. I didn't say Richard loud enough for...
No, that's me.
Oh. Okay.
Adrit, I'm not sure if you understand, but that was the point.
To put us in danger?
No. Not to put us in danger, but to draw more ire, more attention. There are bigger things going on that you will soon see, but believe me, this is a necessary step. I wouldn't do it if it weren't well thought out.
Then it is your path to take. But it will not be mine. And it will not be Anna's either.
That's not your decision to make.
That is how I feel about this. And I start to walk back off. As I'm assuming more arrows are shot at me. No? Okay, there's like...
He let you approach.
He's
That
like-
was the okay.
Okay, I was just like, damn, he's respectful.
No. The fact that
They readied their
they're
Their bow
aiming
and
at
he
you,
went
the
like
quiet
this.
ones, but that's it. As you are starting to turn away, you are starting to hear Adrit, Adrit, slowly, but it's loud enough you all can hear it.
And I'm impressed anyone knew his name.
Oh, fuck. Outside me is like, oh boy, player combat, my favorite. But inside of Adrit's mind, he's like, did I not just get done saying violence ain't the way?
Please gain a point of infamy.
Okay. Then I guess I have to make a speech to them now. That's what he would do.
Infamy except for
Yeah.
By this point, roughly half of the audience is actually gone or leaving.
Is the party over?
party's almost over.
Okay.
So
Just begin burning the
Can we
corpse.
get ice cream?
We can get ice cream after. We
He
just gotta
starts
talk to
burning
a
the
couple
corpse
people.
now.
Before you do it, though, you start seeing watchers that are coming down the stadium sides.
Mhm.
They're both evacing people, but then there's ones that are armed in case there's conflict.
Conflict in a coliseum.
Because the forts are there, you can't see the tunnels.
So
That's okay.
I hear my name slightly being called at this point, right?
Mhm.
I would say the first expression on his face is just disgust and like upsetness, like, no, guys, shut the fuck up. But then, do I notice him now burning the body?
Adrit's never been cheered on.
Okay.
It's not about the cheering at this point, it's about religious purposes.
This says we're still connected. Mine on here says chat's been disconnected.
Is Adrit still connected?
Is the stream still active on your side?
To his
Currently
restraint?
looks So.
He's about not to be.
It's the one that says live. Check the timer. That's how you know whether or not we've disconnected at any point. Because it starts over when it disconnects and redoes it again.
Gotcha. No, it hasn't done that.
So we're still on?
Yeah,
as I know.
as long as that
Alright.
timer hasn't cut out and restarted, you're still connected.
Okay. As I'm watching myself point that out. Great.
So, do I like I said, do I see or notice him burning the body?
There's whether or not the watchers moving in stops you or not.
I don't think so.
He's above the law.
How are you burning the body?
Your dad's a fucked up man.
Fire.
I figured there would be spare timbers from the fort that I could simply just take down and use as like a funeral pyre.
So you're building a pyre.
Mhm.
Okay.
Then I definitely notice.
Yeah, that wouldn't be subtle.
Yeah, no, I'm.
He wasn't
How
trying to be
subtle?
subtle.
Right,
either.
no, I know he's not trying to be subtle, but I was turned around, so. I turned back around. So, like I was saying earlier, normally, blah, 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 blah. But now Adrit's expression turns to one of just huge anger.
Sure.
Am I able to, like, share inside thoughts, or is that something that no one would know?
That's up to you. What
Okay,
you tell us.
Because I just wanted to say that I don't know if any other player character would know, but in terms of religious stuff for Adrit's faith, I kind of have it unwritten that burning a corpse is a way of respect, and by killing him the way he did and then burning him, he's basically mocking that respect. And
That's up to you. Interpret
Alright.
that way.
okay,
Yeah, that's your
I
interpretation.
Well,
can't
no,
do
I'm-
nothing with that.
I'm saying like for my religion though, I just want
That's
to put
fine
that.
with me.
So Adrit
Hey,
starts
what else
to
can you do?
Lots.
Adrit starts to march
Can you please
forth.
tell me quickly?
What
And-
do you need?
He goes, and I'm going to attempt to grapple Lamel.
A diffusion.
And go ahead and roll.
All right.
There's no surprise
Okay.
to it.
No. Tell me what you're gonna do first.
I imagine I make you contested athletics or acrobatics
Walter?
if he's attempting to grapple.
It should be an athletics contested roll. Now I'm thinking about it because you're not out to hurt him. You're out to stop him.
Fun?
So I wouldn't imagine it'd be
That's
a combat grapple so much as
Explain
just
it.
stopping him, right?
I suppose it's up
It's
to
a
you what
chance
you roll to
thing.
contest it.
And no.
But yeah, I'm just
I'm not
trying
taking
to
the
pull
word of
him
a
back.
3-year-old.
There you go.
Well,
That's fine.
I don't know what you want, Uncle Richard.
You said acrobatics is okay?
Athletics is more strength based, so unless you're just moving it away, then acrobatics.
What you need?
Okay. That is a 12
If
to
you don't
contest.
give me directions,
14.
I interpret.
So I grab you like sort of full Nelson style, and I start
Fire?
pulling you back and saying,
Yep.
"Stop what you are doing. I am trying to get through to you with words, and it is your path to take, but you've gone too far."
Adric, if anyone's gone too far, it's you. Get your hands off me. If you wanted to use words, you would start with that and not try to harm me.
I started already with words.
No, you didn't. You just stomped over here and grabbed me. What do you want?
You are burning him. I already told you to stop with this villainy.
Is it
This
my
is
turn?
a matter of respect here.
It's not really turns at this point.
You have mocked this
Possibly so.
respect.
I'm gonna cast a thing.
I have done no such thing.
She is going to cast a thing.
I
I was just gonna
Oh, okay. You're just gonna do it.
the thing.
Okay, you do it. Thing.
Inspiration back, by the way.
I'm
Did
gonna
did you use it?
upcast.
Yeah, on the athletics check or whatever.
Upcasting a in 3rd level. Can I have some d8s?
Uh-oh.
Oh, sleep.
Oh, that's not good because I have been hit pretty hard.
I think I need 3.
Oh, with the 12.
I only have 2 at
That's
the
fine. Zach's got a d8.
That was just a crazy roll. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Yep, that's an accurate number.
Oh, boy.
7,
We might be both going to sleep.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 for sleep.
Is that it?
Yeah, I didn't roll very well.
you
I had a lot of 2s in there.
were 2 off from knocking my ass out.
A lot of 2s.
You know what you do? You blow your inspiration.
Sure, what does that do?
I'm kidding. It lets you re-roll it, but you re-roll the whole thing hoping that it works.
I mean, sure. What else am I doing?
Didn't work before.
I mean, it's an option. It's up to you.
I had a lot of
I'm not trying to
2s.
encourage it. I'm just telling you it works.
Well,
Sorry.
Uncle Richard said to do a diffusion. I'm gonna borrow this again. Where the fuck? Okay. Let's see, maybe if I roll us 2s this time.
I have to tell her what she can do with her own things.
Oh, that's a better number.
Jesus fucking Christ, it's a lot of
8,
7s.
9, 10,
Oh, well, that was enough to take Adrian
11.
out, too.
The fuck number
I'll be
is that?
surprised.
The 5?
I would be,
That's a
too, because you're probably in
16,
the 50s.
17,
I got 45
18,
health normally,
20,
Okay.
27.
Oh, that's right. You
29,
buff yourself.
30,
That's why
31,
you're 50.
30, 38.
Alright, that knocks me out. The problem with doing so, though, I'm not sure if me being knocked out would make my familia immediately just attempt to kill Adrit there in the arena. or
Oh,
not.
snap.
It
You
would-
said diffusion.
Because he's still like this.
It'd
You
be
said
instantaneous.
diffusion. You didn't say think with.
This is gonna be
big boy.
fun.
Yeah.
I think Anna may have killed you.
I mean, hey, it's what we would have done in
I
character.
will say, from what I understand how sleep work, it's not a target; it's an area effect.
Mhm.
Yes.
So whichever one has a lower hit points
Yeah,
technically gets
yeah.
hit first.
Yes, that means
Okay,
it only
I didn't know.
knocks out
I didn't
me.
know what his hit points were at.
He's,
if that was
we've already
relevant.
determined he's in the 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
What's the area size of that?
well, I upcast it. I don't know if that matters.
That
Does it change
it's
the
just
area?
more dice. It's just,
20-foot area.
This is interesting, though. Fuck yeah.
No, it's a cool interaction, but
so while
I
you're
don't want
holding
you to
him,
die.
Well,
there's
I
a-
might.
while you're holding him, there's a clear conversation.
Mhm.
As a general point of order, since it's your familia, I need you to
Said no
do the
fire,
equivocal
no
flip a
water.
coin. You determine before you roll, I guess, which one makes your familia see it, and which one they can't see it, because it's whether Adrit is blocking them. Because if you slump in his arms and they can't see it, they don't know you went passed out or dead. They will not know the difference.
Instant death.
I think you just killed your dad.
If they see it the other way, they might interpret and act different. Who knows?
You said no fire, no water, no fun.
I basically am interpreting it down to this.
Okay.
Odd, the familia sees it and takes action.
Okay.
Odd, there is a limbo there where
Oh shit, odd
Adrit
both
has
options?
opportunity to do something.
You said odd twice.
Sorry, even.
Okay.
Do I see any of the
Adrit, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's an odd.
of his familia?
There's 3 really obvious, and then there's 2 more by the gates.
That are within shooting distance, like the ones that were shooting at him prior?
There were 5 arrows before,
Fuck, I can't do that many.
and you didn't have time to get trajectories. Because absolutely none of them that you can see have bows.
Fun?
Major image explosion in the air. Try to draw everyone's attention.
Up.
Up.
Okay. Do me a favor on this one, and we're just going to kind of set this up. Is this your response to seeing him slump?
Her casting a spell, him slumping.
Okay, so it's in
And
that same 6-second
I will say,
window, if you
for
will.
Like,
what it's
I know the
worth,
spell.
yeah, he knows the spell, so he probably knows what I cast. Because he has the same spell.
I would argue that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, you would understand the components to it, so yeah.
Given a understanding that they shot at him when he entered the arena.
Mhm.
He's now in a tuffle with the person that
Gave the hero game.
gave the stop shooting. And that person's probably about to go to sleep. Distraction.
What kind of explosion are we talking about? Like a charge, or like a general boom, like a firework?
I'm thinking of a fireball explosion, like boom.
Oh, fire?
Like an attack.
Yes.
Sure. What's your DC?
You said no fire.
I said no fire for
What
you.
part of subtlety helps is, does anyone not understand?
That's the big word.
There are
14.
watchers in here now!
That's a big word. I was given no rules when I went into this.
What is it?
14. They probably all tap past it. I can't talk. Tap past it.
Only 2 did.
Oh.
I rolled real bad out of 10. However, that doesn't stop the watchers from seeing it for the obvious reasons of what it is, and they're trained. So they won't know it's an illusion. They're just going to respond because that's just what they do. So simultaneously, there's a couple of things that are going to happen. This is going to probably be more narrative because if I do this as initiative, it will be here all night.
Yeah.
There's give or take 30 watchers in the arena
Oh boy,
as a whole
that's a lot.
that are obvious, and there
There
are
are
more
a
in the
lot of-
tunnels.
Audience still here? Or?
There is probably about 1,000 people still in the stands.
Okay, so it's not just me and Richard being the only
No.
two casually still here.
The watcher's priority is going to be getting the 1,000 people out of here.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are in the tunnels, on the other hand, is going to be subdue and remove, or just remove because they don't know who did the attack. And everybody's going to be getting checked left and right. But initially, what happens? You slump. They don't see it. They will get shots off once, for sure. Because they don't know what your intentions were, and now it looks hostile.
Mhm.
When the explosion happens, that's going to draw all of their attention except for 2, which those 2 are then going to shoot again. Based on those results, we'll probably figure out the rest, but I'm almost certain that, give or take 12 to 15 seconds, is going to determine everything anyway. Because if you get touched, you'll wake up anyway, most likely.
As I'm also looking to see if I can casually end it.
No,
Nope.
it's an effect. It's not a concentration.
Once it's on there, it's on there.
Sucks, bro.
I mean, if I decides to just like kick him real quick to move him, that
Sorry, back
might.
to life. Oh shit! I didn't mean to flink out of my head.
So I have double 16s on the first one plus 3, so 19s.
Yeah, 19th hit.
Okay. Then those absolutely
down at me.
don't.
I'll try.
And that one definitely does.
My mom is saying she can't view the stream, so
Okay. So then it went off.
probably.
Well,
I don't know when.
I don't know. As far as I'm aware, if the timer is still going, we're A-okay.
This is why I mentioned the whole currently going activities stay on, but anything in this house that is further.
Well, because like I said, it looks like
Tried.
Zach can still view it, too.
Right, but I'm assuming she was like, all right, check in on the stream.
Okay.
Internet out for her, so.
So I'm not on the internet, so let me just pull it up and see what happens.
It's still showing that it's on YouTube and everything.
Right.
It could just be that this house she can't pull
Well, that's
up.
what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
It's only in the house, but for the people in the house, they can't pull up anything new.
Okay. Well, we'll be going to break after this, and then we'll solve problems.
Okie dokie.
So,
Gotta let her know that.
Yeah, I think that's just a bandwidth issue.
It is. Because it always happens in this house.
Well, not even that. We have like 7 people on the Wi-Fi right now.
That's a lot of dice.
I'm not on the Wi-Fi with the exception.
that's 3 separate attacks. I'm just rolling it all at once.
Okay.
I didn't want Adric to die. I didn't even want him to get hurt.
So you take 26 piercing
That's not that bad.
from 3 separate sources.
Yeah.
The problem is that's only in the first, 6 seconds of the scuffle.
I have healing spells.
There's more to come.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know what the fuck the Watchers are going to think of all this.
They won't see it. There's no evidence to the arrows.
Mm-hmm.
They dissipate. So you get hit.
Mm-hmm.
As you're getting hit, it's like getting hit with arrows. And then the holes that they make, like if you went to go reach for the shaft, there's nothing there. So you get like a cold breeze and the impacts shortly after accompanying the pain.
All right.
Are the heads still there, or the entire thing goes?
The whole thing dissipates.
Okay.
It's like spectral arrows.
Yeah, they're not real arrows, which is the whole thing. After that happens, you let Lamel go or no?
I would let him go, try to get to a spot of cover, and cast Cure Wounds on myself if possible.
Okay, so go ahead and do the cure. The boom happens. People start looking up. Your action is tied to the sleep in that same round. Watchers react to the boom, followed immediately by the follow-up, which is the other two. Because he was holding you, the two that missed, they have a very small chance of hitting you.
Okay.
Okay? No. They can't throw at you.
Does me thudding to the ground wake me up as a sort of a falling damage or anything?
Mechanically, you wouldn't take any damage. I would probably, since he's kind of the way he's holding you, would let you just slump down. It wouldn't be enough to wake you up.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you're going to hit and have a little bit of a headache, but it won't be significant. As the second round starts, the two that can still shoot do. Both scoring
Dinner's
hits.
gonna be awkward.
Okay, dope.
For 14.
Okay, I'm still up.
Oh, wait, you took cover.
On the way home.
That gives 2. One of them would miss.
It's either three.
Yeah.
It's either half cover or 3/4 cover. It's either up to you.
So one of them won't actually hit you, so then that's 6.
Okay. We chugging.
After that happens, they are going to start to scatter towards the tunnels because they don't want a protracted fight when the Watchers are coming. The visible ones have already started sprinting to Lamel
Okay.
with every intent to grab him and move him out.
I'll say I don't know how long all this is, but sleep's only a minute if that helps.
This is like 15 seconds at most.
Okay.
They get to Lamel. You get picked up. One of them checks you with medicine. Doesn't know whether you are asleep or just knocked out, so it doesn't do anything to administer a difference. They just know you're not dead. So you get carried out. Watchers come up to you within about 10 more seconds, basically trying to get you out, while holding the equivocal of a full shield over the barricades to keep you covered. And along with like 3 or 4 other people, and they start going, "Go, now, this way, up the stair, through the tunnel, now."
Ice cream emergency!
Yes, ice cream emergency. I pick Anna up and we go. Catcher it.
7 more Watchers
Yeah.
flood out of the tunnel on one side of the fort.
He's technically too far away, but can I give him my last inspiration as a dying good luck?
Sure, why not?
Damn, you have no faith in me. Okay.
Sure, why not?
Just to be safe.
It's fine with me. 8 more come flooding out the one that you're getting carried towards. And to their knowledge, you've not done anything that would get you arrested. The Watchers tell your people something, and in about a minute, you're going to wake up in one of the side rooms. That's basically a weight room with armed guards. After that, the 7 that come up to you immediately go to pull you out. They're not trying to arrest you either.
Yay!
However, they unkindly manhandle you out.
No, that's fine. I'm not going to resist.
Stop resisting!
I know when I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah. So they unkindly manhandle you out. You end up in a waiting room on the other side as well, also under armed guard.
All right. Would they allow me to heal myself? Or they're like, no.
Once you're in the room, you're in the room.
Okay.
There's 2 Watchers standing at the door on one side and 2 on the other. So they can see you, but they don't really care as long as it's not something that's going to be dangerous.
Okay. Then I will cast Cure Wounds on myself again.
Now, your magic looks weird. So they're going to give you some eye and ask, but that's about it.
I just tell them, I am in pain.
They start casting the first spell. They start readying their weapons. Your wounds start to heal. They stop readying their weapons.
I mean, they're probably making Arcana checks real quick going, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that as they're drawing it? I don't know. Oh, wait, no. No, look, it's closing. That's got to be easy healing. It's okay. Anyway.
All right. I am good.
Hour passes. You guys are safely escorted out by this point.
Ice cream.
You go to an ice cream shop. One of the Watchers comes in, asks you some general questions about what happened, takes a statement, and you're released. They don't say shit. Your familia members are politely asked not to bring weapons that are unauthorized within the arena again. They are given actual warnings, which carry a 5 silver fine. Past that, there's no evidence they shot anybody or did anything with it. So that'll be sorted out later. Yours doesn't really have a lot of things unless you plan to throw Adrid under the bus.
I don't plan
I'm not
to throw him
gonna
under the
throw
bus.
him under the bus either.
I plan to actually vouch for Adrit and try to see if I can get the Watchers to take me to his room to give him a beneficial testimony.
They will not let you, just because there was a conflict and they don't know if it's safe.
Understood. I thank them either way.
If you guys want to meet outside, things like that, that's fine, but they had to clear the Coliseum because they don't know if the Coliseum was just attacked by somebody, and that's what they're worried about.
Big explosion in the sky.
Well, yeah, and you were clearly injured, but they don't know it was the familiar.
Yeah.
They can think that it was somebody that attacked the place, and either of you were targets.
Yeah.
So, and he mentioned an assassin. At this point, they're investigating.
All right.
When they ask you
3 off
questions,
the back, so.
when they ask you questions, they first trend to your injuries after you've cast to make sure you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't initially because they didn't know you were as injured as you are.
Yeah, because they couldn't see the arrow sticking out of me.
Exactly, so they don't have evidence of
Yeah.
it behind your gear and clothes and everything else. They administer any aid you need, so if you're missing any hit points after you cast it, they restore it.
Yay, 3 more.
Do I get healed too?
If you were injured, then yes.
Yeah, I'm very injured.
Yeah, then they definitely would heal you.
And that's why I was able to get him to sleep.
One of the Watchers probably finds a little bit of delight in the fact that they are saving one of the champions in the arena from their own stupidity, but he gets it under wraps after like one of the higher ranks just upside the head about it.
I didn't mean saving, dumb fuck.
What do you tell them out of curiosity? Because I know he's going to lie.
I was thrown off into the arena. I was a bit dazed and confused, got close to Lamel by accident, ended up here with a few bruises. I'm not sure what that explosion was, but if any sort of guess were to be made, it is tied to the reason I was thrown in. Some asshole, essentially. As Lamel would put it.
I do need a deception from both of you as a baseline.
Yep. Here's to hoping, here's to praying.
That's a 19 on deception.
Here's to motherfucking Dragon Slaying.
That too.
Or these guards roll like 25s on insights.
I mean, their insights and investigations might be pretty high as investigators.
And
Except that's not what's on site. Okay. So they're skeptical of yours, but you claim to hit injury, so they don't take you at face value to begin with.
All right.
You're both released on your own recognizance probably an hour or two later. Eventually, I'm assuming everybody finds their way back to the estate.
Sure.
And that's where we're going to go to break.
Yay!
all right, let's
You guys
fix
want ice
that
cream?
internet.
Yep, I can't exactly go over to do anything about it.
Yeah, no, I got
Yeah,
it.
I think you kind of just have to end stream and we'll restart.
I can't.
Well,
This
yeah.
one disconnected from that computer.
Oh, then Logan needs to rehab that.
I will say, I don't know how to make it start again.
Oh, that's fine. We're just going to have to relaunch it.
But you just said you can't access that screen.
Oh.
That's just a matter of him reconnecting.
That's because it's web connected from this computer to remote control.
okay. You lost the. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. So
Sorry.
as long as I don't close
Yeah.
this, I can just do
No,
resume.
I was thinking something else happened with it.
No.
If it was that.
No. Do we want to turn on that AC?
Give it a sec because everything is still being recorded.
Hi guys, we're having problems.
Yeah,
Well, not really. We're going to fix them as we were headed to break.
yeah.
You guys just get to listen to us banter.
So how about them sports teams?
I don't.
You know,
I don't know
I
what sports are.
was so ready to be woken up because I had such a fun plan ahead. And then it's all got ruined by me being knocked out still.
Blame your dog.
said-
So fuck you.
He said, "No water, no fire, no fun." I ran out of other spell options.
This is our behind the scenes segment of, I don't know, during the break.
Lamel's rambling.
When I'm given instructions, I try to follow them. He said, "No water, no fire, no fun." So sleep it is.
That seemed like a good parameter, and it worked just fine.
To be fair, I was hoping to roll much higher and get a lot more people out with that. Figure if I can knock you both out.
And we have fixed the technical problems and are back.
Yay.
Have we
Is that what
really?
we're calling it?
I think we have.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it going, so
We'll find out.
we'll find out. So those of you that may be in chat, if you're on Twitch, just to let everybody know, you are slowly building up channel points. As you build up those channel points, we have wonderful surprises in there that you could turn in those points for.
You could give me inspiration.
Or you could give me advantage.
Can we just add an option that says wake Lamella?
Honestly, you can also just give us a chat and maybe suggest something ridiculous, preferably feasible, though.
Lamella in a dress.
See, there we go.
That's doable though.
Yeah.
It's doable.
I gotta raise my Infinity score.
It's not even ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah.
That's just Thursday night.
Everyone's like, that was 2 days ago.
Richard,
guys.
being honest,
My
there
drag
you
show
go.
is very
That's
popular.
ridiculous.
Yeah. But that'd be wonderful.
No,
I'm the most honest man here, thank you.
that's true. Based on the way the night's been going.
Yeah.
So, the full week has passed,
Yeah, you have to roll a deception check today.
along with another day or so. But there's an awkward moment. Everybody had come back. But that first night, you don't even talk to each other in some cases, preferring to process things. While Anna probably makes a sandwich and causes a little bit of havoc.
I was gonna try to continue my
Art
blacksmithing
project.
adventure.
We're going to assume that gets tabled on you.
That's
think
getting
we don't.
washed. Sorry, not happening.
That's going to definitely get tabled.
I don't know,
As,
guys
you no
were in
longer have any
jail,
chairs
so,
to work
like,
with. Yeah, I'm just assuming you don't have any more chairs to work with, so the furnishing is skimp for now.
chairs.
Richard, who had to babysit for probably a few hours,
I got ice
finds
cream.
when they come back and everything, Mom's willing to help too to some extent.
I got her ice cream too.
There you go. She likes you probably more than everybody else. Eventually, Lamel and Adric come back, probably not at the same time,
Yeah.
which is why they don't necessarily see each other in the process. The next day, people probably go about their general business for a few things. But that evening, the day before, Lamel especially, but there's no reason he can't take a small entourage, is required to appear for his clan hall meeting and the vote that Prince Xander is attempting. But before that, a small dinner is made and put together.
I helped.
So did your mom, possibly with somebody else. I'm guessing it'd either be Adric or Richard, to be honest.
Alright.
Unless Lamel is a secret chef and I don't know about it.
I haven't learned that skill yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Lamel's a
probably
secret
hope.
artist, not a secret chef.
You won't let me do my art.
Very different types of art, but also within the same realm.
As you sit at the table, a small amount of awkwardness settles in as the beef roast slowly cools. The handmade rolls, relay covered, small plate of veggies that cater to multiple tastes are there, along with a few small skewers of maybe some roast chicken, because Lamel likes chicken. Past that, there's a tiny little cask of wine that's present and one of ale
Nope.
that the child has tried to drink multiple times. The mother is probably the first one to give the child a small amount of wine, to be honest.
That's her fault. That's fine.
It's not a lot. It's just enough to make her think that mommy's grape juice is going to be something she'll like. And very quickly learns that it tastes
Exactly like I wanted it to.
okay then.
Alcoholic child, got it.
No, I'm sure there's going to be repercussions.
I need,
The
I need to
hangover's
take
coming.
levels in monk. Drunken monk specifically.
The repercussions are coming.
Takes
Next
after your
morning,
father.
it's fortified wine, wakes up with a pounding headache for like a couple of hours. But for now, we're going to pass the gravy or the beef first, or small bit of rolls.
So we're gonna talk about what happened.
I'm just thinking of that one scene from Shrek. Shrek, Fiona, Harold, Donkey. Yeah, who is gonna start?
Biscuit will run across the table and grab a roll.
I'm sure he will.
Mother will grab the fox, put it back down. It won't take the roll away from it, but
She knows better.
probably the bit once.
Yeah.
Here's the grain.
Perfect. So what was the plan, Lamel?
Until the vote happens, I can't share all the details with you. But just know there is a method behind the madness. There is a reason why I need to draw the anger of...
Is there a person behind the madness?
Yeah. A couple.
That's not what I meant. It looks like you're slowly dipping down into morally ambiguous territory, and that's scary.
There you go. As the mother's adding it food.
I assumed it was a vegetable.
First it was some of the beef, but then yes, followed by vegetables.
Look, I understand that my actions were what would be deemed as heinous, and I agree they were wrong. But I needed to make a public performance of it, and someone who threw their life away to take mine, quite frankly, he deserved what he got to him. Now, Andrew, I did not mean to disrespect his soul or your heritage or your customs.
You disrespect life itself. It is not mine to interpret. It is the will of the world. And you spat on it.
See, I don't see it that way at all. For me, that man gave up his life in pursuit of taking mine. He had lost that battle and was willing to die regardless. Now, I took his life, and I did so in a crude fashion. That is true. But I was going to give him what any warrior deserves, and that's a proper sentence.
But would you take these actions again? Or was this only done because you thought it was necessary?
If it is necessary, I will do it again. Now, rather, it is deemed necessary again.
So I should turn this off and figure it out.
Maybe necessarily shouldn't lie only in my vision.
The vegetables.
I take the time to get some, like, collard greens. Put them on our plate.
Biscuit runs away. Goes over towards Richard. Just kind of... What do you give it?
Meat.
Oh, okay. It's super excited.
Can be my
And what you do, you deem necessary. Look, have you considered that there could be other ways?
Yeah.
And why?
I wanted to take any other avenue I could, but there was no other option.
I find that very hard to believe.
Or, let me put it this way. No other option that would have gotten the results necessary.
This was not even a plan you discussed with any of us. How can you be sure there wasn't another avenue? It's one thing to take a man's life the way you did. It's another to not even trust the people you've been traveling with for the past couple of months.
It's not a matter of trust. It's a matter of rather the information that is relevant to this is yours to have or not. I'm sure you've noticed since we've gotten to the capital, but that things have been a little different for me since we've gotten here.
I would assume as much. It is where your family is.
It's where a lot of families are. And that causes a lot of problems.
I do not think it has to.
That's just how it is, unfortunately. Man, I regret that we can't see it the same way. I wish we could, or at least be able to work together on this.
I will work with you so far as making sure things are kept alive. Past that, I would have no part in your plans. Richard?
My cup lights up.
That's good, sweetie.
I don't agree with the methods. But I'm here till you fully cross a line.
I will say one thing, Lamel. What is done, and cannot be undone. Try that again. Cannot be. What is done, and it cannot be undone. So, I will try not to hold this over you. You are as much a life as that man was, or any other. You deserve peace of mind too. That in mind,
Takes the attack leg.
I am big. I need food. I think that'd be the end of my discussion. I don't know if anyone has anything else to say.
I did not eat my vegetables.
It's just like everyone's just silent.
She goes to shove some carrots in.
Mom, I threw up.
Fold up.
I throwed up.
Okay.
I've got nothing I need to say. So
Okay.
The day before the vote, Richard has things he's supposed to do. Talk to 2 people, but not Gisela, because she seems to be incredibly hard to meet with.
Talked to 2 people. I thought it was 3.
We've talked to 2 of the 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gisela's the one you haven't been able to reach.
Okay.
The only one you needed to.
The other 2 are willing to offer work, but not in the way you need for what the entire purpose is here.
Mhm.
However, you did get a little bit of info that helps. Mostly because the military officer is a friend. So it makes things a little easier. He can't really put you on his staff right now because he has plenty of people that are currently working on it and he can't justify it. However, if you gave him a couple of weeks, he might be able to find a way in, provided you're willing to take and enter as an officer this time and take a 2-year contract.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna hate myself for it.
Okay. So in a couple of months, Richard's going to re-enlist
oh,
as an officer this time
Have fun.
in the Special Operations Division.
Yep, saw that coming. Hate
bye,
you, Frederick.
Richard.
we come back, we roll just a die. We're like, all right, so if you get anything above a 5 on a D20, you live. Next, that's 1 year. Next year, if you get above a 10, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. That's too random.
It's a 6, and every year it just keeps going up. No one's lasted 20.
That's the whole point, isn't it? What he does share with you is an interesting power exchange that's happening. And he kind of wants your insight on something that is not related at all to what you're asking for. If you've known each other long enough, he's willing to kind of have a more honest conversation that he cannot have with any of his staff, because then it leaks. I am a bit curious if...
You okay over there? You dying?
The voice got him.
I'm a bit curious.
I'm a bit curious if you may have some insight. You see, I am attempting to field what is turning very quickly into a quagmire of disaster. I have a prince on one hand who is demanding our clan be one unit above all. Unfortunately, on the other side, I have the traditional concepts in which Aestral should be taking power and should have months ago. Mourning is over for the king. Power should have already been exchanged. And unfortunately, I've found that my own people are divided in this. And I am not sure which way would be worth swaying, because if I were to side with the prince, then I will have a problem. My ministry position is governed on impartiality, as you are quite aware. Unfortunately, if I were to go ahead and side and lose my position, I'm not so worried about the standing or the income. We've been here long enough. Retirement is near. It would make little difference. What would make quite a difference is I would very quickly be ostracized from my allies within TOGG and Calum, as they would consider that a form of religious heresy. On the other hand, if I back Aestro and the traditional concepts, I will probably be exiled quietly to a posting, as you are quite familiar, referred to as the Purple Division. the little tablets when they give you those special missions nobody expects you will come back from. I would guess they would send me into the old Ziller region, doing ruin dives very quickly. And at this point, he is not quite old enough to be a Sela, but that does not change. His allies are 3-2. And I have no means to sway that. Where would you fall in such a demanding and impossible choice?
So you're damned if you go with the prince, you're damned if you don't.
Does it matter?
Yeah. So you lose your job if you go with the prince. Or you're exiled to the Purple Division if you go against him.
That is what I would expect.
Well, as a man who doesn't normally go on tradition, because I like to front my own path, as I've done so many times, a job's a job, as you've said. And family is family. I'd probably say you'd have to support the prince.
This is a hard position, but supporting family is a good way to make sure you at least have something to fall back to.
Because if you go to the Purple Division, no one's your friend out there. No one's going to stick their neck out for you. You won't have anyone to back you.
This is the rumor.
Unless you're packing some paladin powers under there.
Quite certainly not. I was more curious than much. I appreciate the insight. I know you have done quite a few off-table sorties, so it's worth asking.
No problem. So what I'm here for.
Out of general curiosity, what is your attachments to family? You seem to value them quite more than you do service.
So you have the brothers you make, and then you have the brothers that made you.
I've seen this a few times.
Yes, each one has its benefits, but I've always seen that family holds stronger.
Seems to be my position. I appreciate the candor. So that probably has other kinds of exchanges that are not so heavy.
Yeah.
He does give you a small gift box that has a very nice brandy inside it.
Ooh, cookies.
And inside that box also is a waiting orders for that 1 month from now. Anytime you are assigned something that would be a change in orders, it will arrive in a box similar. It is usually a gift of some kind. It's typically brandy. Sometimes it's schnapps. But it will be given like that. It's usually the label of the actual bottle, and it's on the inside of it. But nonetheless...
So you're going to chug it all to read the note.
Or pour it out. But yeah,
No, chug it all.
Whichever. Just don't share it with enemies, because I'm not going to be able to read it, and it's going to be a problem. So you get that basically from him. When you go to see Gisela, you have to actually go up to the clan tier area. It took a bit of finessing over the last few days to even get this level of an audience, and she legitimately gives you 2 minutes to make an elevator pitch to her.
To make an elevator pitch. She works for the Ministry of Industry. What is her position again?
Officially, she is part of the weights and measures for logistics. She determines what load prices are and transit, stuff like that. So somebody orders something from the capital and it goes down to Palmaris. She's determining what that load market value should be.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Or she has influence in it.
Okay. So for these 2 minutes, it's pretty much me just talking about what I've done for her family in the past, what I've done with the military service, how I could be an asset to her. I don't really have a speech prepared.
That's fine. I'm literally putting you on the spot, so I don't expect it.
Like, if I can, I'd like to detect thoughts as I'm talking with her. And I don't want to probe.
You just want to scan?
Correct.
Sleight of hand for me?
I believe in you.
See if he can say the right words based on what she needs.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm assuming he's casting this silent. And he has to make up for it in other ways, which requires him to hide it in his
Oh, yeah,
gestures.
no, I'm not questioning that. I'm just in the sense of I'm sure he's reading the thoughts to try to
Oh,
help
17.
answer what she needs.
Okay.
Sound more appealing. Like, if she really just wants to get laid, he'll stop talking and make it happen, you know?
I'll divert course.
Would you do this as you're approaching or mid-conversation?
It would probably be, since I have 2 minutes, as I'm approaching.
Okay. I should probably get a hold of Bengar and refuse his order. And if I don't get Narduin on board, this is not going to go well.
So, Bengar. And who? Otwin?
Narduin,
Nartuin.
which these two have already met.
Was he one of the guys at the meeting with Albrecht?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No idea.
That was the blonde, arrogant ass.
Oh, okay.
So then I also
Mm-hmm.
tier it into covert missions. Because if she's trying to get people on board,
Mhm.
I can sway people into
That's his
Positions.
specialty,
Yeah.
if you will.
positions they don't really want to be in.
Okay.
Unit extortion.
So we're going to, instead of leaving this on a single roll, because that would be pretty shitty, we're going to make it an extended.
Okay.
And you're going to start out, I assuming, just on the straight pitch?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So the straight pitch, we'll do a normal roll. And I'm just going to do it contested because she's trying to figure out what your angle is. And then I'm using insight. You can use whatever makes sense: performance, persuasion, deception.
Persuasion.
Okay.
Fuck, don't.
He's like, heat is on.
19.
Okay. She, while talking to a couple other people, is paying attention enough.
Mhm.
She does one of these numbers to them. Go on. I'm listening. Her surface thoughts slightly shift for a moment.
Mhm.
What's this guy's angle? It looks like he wants something, and it's probably going to be expensive.
I try to tiptoe around that. So she's expecting me to offer something to her to buy, which I'm selling myself.
Mhm.
But I don't want to do that. I want to make sure she's not buying me, she needs me.
Okay. So switching it on her.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't use performance.
That's fine. Persuasion it is.
Ooh,
It's on the table. Can I take it or no?
It's up to you.
I would take it. I normally, if it rolls out,
If it's flat and legit, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, it's not cocked at all.
27.
He's like, pretty please.
You can hear the begging in the voice, right? He's like, I know this is good, but if you say no, I will re-roll
Like
it.
a dog looking at a bone. Like,
It's mine? It's mine? Yeah? It's mine? You sure? Okay. Once you say yes, it's mine. You can't take it back. Why are you pulling on it? Stop that. All right, so you finagle it around enough that in her inner thoughts, she's like, got talent. Doesn't look too bad. Seems to have some skill with words and a quick wit. I wonder if there's some sort of value to put him in innovations.
Innovation. Is that like where I kind of want to be, or is that kind of where do I have to...
It is a different place in the Ministry of Industry, but it's more prestigious, but it's not in her thing necessarily that you know of.
Okay. So, I want to... how can I steer her thoughts away? So she's thinking innovations. I need to draw her towards logistics.
Okay.
So I will touch on innovation to see that we're like mine, but I want the challenge of something else. Like, I'm really good at this. However, this is something I know I need to improve on. This is something that if I improve on, I'll be really good at.
Persuade her. When you have to go back to the character sheet to confirm what you thought. Brought to you by cell phones.
So the question now. This is not an ability check, right? Yeah, no, never mind. I was gonna reverse Bardic performance her, but it's not an ability check, it's a skill check. Oh no.
Is this the part where it didn't go well?
Give it to me.
It failed?
Nah.
1.
That's fine, it's on skills.
So 10 total.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's them bards.
Yep, them the bards.
Anything I'm good at, I'm suddenly amazing at. Anything I'm bad at, something good at.
So she has a rolling sigh in her head.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't show on her face. You started out very well. You made a good point. We're going to have to get you better on the landing, though. Since your 2 minutes are up, I'll do this. I think I can make use of you in the innovation office. I think I can connect you to some people and get a mutual service out of this. It comes with a standard position pay. I assume you do not have high clan affiliation.
I do not.
I'll raise you to a Styma as a specialist, making sure that you have any of the privileges that come from that. And you will act as a liaison for the innovation department between it and the Ministry of Knowledge. If you would like the job, it pays 20,000 gold a year.
Sold.
I will need access to your mind there and your talents. A minimum of 10 hours, 4 days a week. And unfortunately, you may be on summons.
Yeah, I'll probably tell you.
Additionally, any sort of special occurrences that come up, you will have to head. After you've been acquainted and fit into the position, you will be able to build a team of your own to work with you. These are the most generous terms I can give you. I normally wouldn't even entertain this, but I'm fairly certain that this would work out.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Okay.
Glad I could be of service.
We'll see.
Eddie's thirst.
As you go to walk out, do me a favor and tell Lamel to stop being so loud.
Oh. I think it's in everyone's interest if he's louder.
Persuade him. And it's like a knowing smile.
She said, bitch, I just hired you. Do it.
Day of the vote. Or actually,
Daddy Frederick, I'm done.
important question. Do you go to the Ministry of War and actually, like when you went to talk to Frederick and everything, did you inform him of anything? Like that you were definitely going to take the job?
Yeah.
Okay. You get the 300 gold. Richard making all the money.
I'm making so much. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, 20,000 gold for a year is insane. You're 3. Steal it from your dad. He's loaded. Look at that estate.
I haven't paid for any of this ice cream, guys.
So, the day of the vote.
I think 2 gold for the fucking ice cream.
Huh?
So I'm losing 2 gold for the ice cream.
Why?
Because it's delicious ice cream.
You don't have to pay that much.
It's flown in from the southern regions.
Like, somebody went like all the way, climbed the nearest like high peak, shaved like the top 2 or 3 inches of snow just to get to that perfect ice.
Because it's not sprinkles, it's gold dust.
The gold of like ice cream, my god.
They went and got freaking rock sugar that was naturally made somehow.
Yeah,
which
I
is,
watched them make the ice cream in front of
They
me.
took like
From scratch.
fucking pure liquid sugar and like dropped it like fucking stalactites.
yeah, and then they go and they harvest it and they just slowly shave
Oh god.
it. Like, what the fuck? 2 gold. It's like paying $100 at like Jeremiah's or something for a small. Ridiculous.
Oh no, I best be getting a large for 2 gold.
I'm just saying the proportions that are
No,
insane.
I know, I'm just saying.
Anyway, on that day, you're informed that the evening before that by oh my god, I forgot his name now.
Albert?
Vayfar?
There you
I
go.
was like, you're a dumb.
That he got a position working with one of the prince's small entourage. Enough that he is in service. He'll hear things.
Is he working with Travis?
Nice.
No, he's working with the prince. He's actually working
Travis is
in
the
the servant, the hand servant grouping for Adwin, who is the princess, which is his accent. I've not brought that up before, but Adwin Rudum is the princess. She is a former princess to Ziller Tau. That was a bride price. It was supposed to form an alliance, but it didn't because your kingdom kind of attacked theirs anyway. Negotiations broke down and
Oh, thanks, man.
territory
The
had to be
fries
taken.
already.
War was better than marriage.
Well, and the marriage still happened. She was initially a hostage issue. And then it became a marriage that was agreed upon, and then the queen, or her mother, reneged on it. They didn't give the daughter back, so it started a war. Context.
Some Helen of Troy shit.
Kind of. I don't draw inspiration from history. No, not at all.
No, no one does.
No one draws inspiration from history.
The Iliad isn't the basis of like every war movie ever.
The Iliad does not exist.
Anyway.
It is up to Adrit. Well, I guess it's technically up to
What's
Lamel
up?
if he takes Adrit with him. However, you can't avoid not going.
Do they need my vote?
Technically, no. However, you are a full-blooded tier, and all are required to appear, including him, and your mother's not in the registry. So they wouldn't recognize your mother, and if you stayed behind and he showed up, they would want to know why.
She's 3.
That's fine. She won't vote, but she needs to be there. It'd be one thing if there was somebody that was registered within the clan that was staying behind that couldn't vote or just sent their vote or whatever. But because the mother is listed as a servant to Priya, if she shows up as the mother of a tier, that is going to be an issue. And since you have claimed her in a slightly public way at this point, by moving her into the house and going and telling people around the city that that is your daughter, it removed the status of her mother. Socially, legally, it will be probably a different issue.
We'll get you ice cream later. We gotta do
You guys
boring
really gotta
adult
stop
stuff.
feeding me ice cream.
Ice cream.
As you are you going to go with? I'm assuming.
You want to go, Adric?
I will come along.
All right, cool. Let's go. Let's have fun doing adult stuff.
Yeah, adult stuff.
Let's go pay taxes.
As you generally arrived to this place, it is referred to as the Hall of Ancients. Each clan has one. It doesn't diverge. It's the same building. Your Sela, if you will, which is the highest rank of High Society, it's usually 5 alive at any given time in a high clan, are buried in this place in what is probably once a mine, but is now like a gigantic catacomb and crypt.
Have I been here before?
No.
Is it like Moria?
To the building, yes. The crypt, no. No. Also, no. I know what you meant. So, yeah. Sorry, Jen. Been in the building, not in the crypt.
Okay.
There wouldn't be really a cause. As you enter, or as you approach the building is incredibly basic. It is a simple temple, very mundane looking. Square built in the front. There's a statue of Gabor dead center of the whole thing. And then what it amounts to 2 gigantic iron doors. 50 foot tall, 20 feet wide. They take a team to move. They are only opened when high clan business is required of the place. And the place is entirely attended by members of the Ministry of Darkness that essentially keep the cult of Gabor active. So it's a religious site at the end of the day. Each of them is manned separately, and they're all attended to differently, but nonetheless, this is the one that tier has. As it opens, there are 2 stalagmites that have climbed so high they look like they're columns to the structure. They've been polished to be smooth, or ground to be smooth, polished to be reflective, but they are clearly still part of the system that this cave represents. There's a series of high-rise sconces that have not been replaced with electricity, but instead blaze with natural fire. Who puts the material up there? Well, that's somebody with a high ladder and a lot of risk. But it's still done. The cavern itself, the Maw could probably easily stand an entire legion in here and it'd be comfortable, fully armed, with no issues. Clan Tier is comprised on its high level of approximately 900 individuals that have come far and wide to come here. Some have not actually arrived, or probably unable to travel, so they're allowed to send word. So there may be a messenger that's basically walking up to an area that's set off to the side where there's a couple of members of the Ministry of Law overseeing an exchange where they're receiving a sealed scroll that was initially sent just like yours, and a second one that has been sealed, which is with their wishes, as if they knew what was going on. At some point in this, you've seen Priya's, and it actually explained it. Yours just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So,
they probably didn't even expect me to actually show up.
I mean, somebody did, but yeah, the rest, no. Definitely not.
Am I the only kid here?
No, you're not. They offer to put you in family service if you would like to. So you can basically go play with other kids.
You want to go play? Or you want to hang out and do boring adult stuff?
The darkness guards, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
are they in here with the big kids, or are they in with the children?
There are members of the Ministry of Darkness that are knights, if you will, all over the place. All over the place.
I guess I'll stay here.
Okay.
I just grab onto your leg.
That's
The knights look scary as hell to anybody that's not used to seeing them. Their armor is incredibly ornate. It has scenes of death all over it. Various forms of it, vistages, things like that. The aspects of it are, none of them are real looking. Nothing appears like a real scene. It just looks like it's allegory and symbolism all the way through it. But you know it intimately. The part that throws everybody is their face is kind of pulled in some on the helmet. It has what looks like spider-like fangs that come down and around, and the points end right above the bridge on their cheeks towards where their mouth is. And there's a second set that would run the jawline, but it goes all the way to here. as if the thing could open, kind of like how the Predator's face works.
Ah.
But they don't move. The jawline portion and their mouth to nose, this entire area has 4 lines through it that make it look like they're giant teeth. And it gives an illusion that they are taller than they really are, and their faces are bigger than they are. As the points of it go back, it turns into blades that go out the backs of them that act like faux horns and curl. And there's 2 sets of them. The first set being here and back, the second set being at the temples and going straight backwards. There is a halo of sorts that's made out of filigree gold and silver that comes off of the mantle and comes around the back as if it's sainting them. Old depictions of Gabor do this. It's very similar, like you would see in Christianity does this. Judaism has done this in reality, where they make things that are holy or blessed have like this gold sun disk around it. It's an old Egyptian thing too. This is symbolism that looks similar to that, but it's just in this very ornate jewelry wire. There are 2 sets of it. One goes up and over. One goes up to the horns and stops. There is a gap between the horns. The very top of their crown, slightly leaning forward, looks like a woman's face to some extent. No hair, but there's small, short, shallow ridges or spines that run the back of their head that would be her hair. The face itself is, the eyes are wide open, mouth is fully agape, as if it is being dragged down underwater. And there's actually etches of water down to above their head and crown and forehead. The front part, the gorget, actually looks like hands that wrap around their necks.
I'm a little confused. I heard all the description. I just spaced at the front of what this is. A statue, or
These are the
The
knights.
armor of the.
The armor of the Ministry of Darkness. The knights actually are dressed like this.
Okay.
All this armor looks like it's intentionally been dulled out so it doesn't shine. The only parts that shine on it, the weird accents all through it that look like they're gold. But if you kind of mess with it or anything like that, it's just colored steel. The chest piece is all the imagery of death. It's on front, back, and otherwise all symbolism. But it's in segments. So instead of being a solid plate, it's flexing plates. So if they went like this, the whole thing articulates up like a machine. Their legs and everything are super tight to them, like almost form-fitting to an unnatural level that shouldn't articulate. You don't hear anything or otherwise, but their legs are fully reinforced as if somebody had applied side rails into it and gave them servos. Because the way they move and everything is too natural. So a real person in plate has a gait that kind of messes with them. You can't fully flex your hips. These things are not impeded at all. On their hands is the only part that kind of is unusual in their body besides all the etchings. They're all clawed. Every single one of them has like almost like 4-inch claws. And it starts at the first knuckle. The second knuckle on the tip of the finger, none of it's present. It's just straight nail. It's just a cylindrical point. How the hell they hold a weapon, you're not sure. None of them are armed. But there are stories. Richard's actually seen these fuckers fight. All of their weapons are pure force. And it bonds to their bodies. They don't have to worry about dropping anything. Because it'll disappear the minute they let go.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I will say the main thing I'm going to be doing is kind of watching the knights, giving less of a shit about the adulting stuff that's happening.
So something you remember because you're seeing these things. Force is a very brief flash of memory. The paladin itself is modeled in a similar fashion that these armors represent. It's more innate, but no less the same kind of form. Where these have kind of that spidery effect, the Paladin of Darkness actually gets more of a avian claws to its helmet. And its body, it being as big as it is and broad as it is, has extra plate pieces that move with it that look like the beating wings of a bird on its back. They don't actually move in a way that would let it fly. It moves in a way that lets the individual inside breathe and their shoulders flex properly. Otherwise, they're kind of modeled the same way, and the Paladin of Darkness is pure black. It's not steel. It's a different kind of metal or material, and the gold is present in the accents, just like these. The knights themselves, as everybody's more than aware, are not something that's like, oh, they're scary because they're powerful. That's actually not true. They're still people inside the armors. The armor is what's dangerous because they can operate completely autonomously. They don't need a user at all. The user just lets it think and plan and things like that. These things can take orders with nobody in it. That's what makes their soldiers very different than everything else.
To our knowledge, is Darkness the only set of paladins that has this kind of armor?
Darkness is dead.
Clan.
Well,
The other
like
paladins
Darkness
have
and
armor.
Law and all the other.
Yeah, they all have their own armor, but it functions. Each of them function completely different.
Okay, so this is the only one that's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
These knights only show up in the clan tier hall. The other paladins knights will show up in the appropriate clan halls. These will not show up there. They'll guard outside it, but they won't go in it. It's a matter of tradition. Because darkness is clan tiers. Which is why there's so much iconography of death. Kind of this whole morbid background of the witches on Ross as allies. It's also where the spider thing's coming from. As for the cavern, it continues with more stalagmites leading into a larger hall or a larger cavern. It doesn't really have any preamble to a separation. It's just that it comes in and then goes back out. There are kids over to the side that were kind of playing in an area that is a makeshift room, but it's like an old mine office. It's made out of wood. It's pretty basic and simple. Windows that wrap all the way around it so that people can see out of it. And there's a cable that runs in from the inside into it to make sure that it's actually got electrical light. It's the only thing that has electricity in the building. Because you can't put fire inside a wooden building.
I mean, you can.
It just won't be a
Once.
wooden building any longer.
You can do it once.
You see a bunch of people milling about, but it doesn't take long for Lamel to recognize Albert. He's standing with a few people, some of which you've seen once or twice in passing, but not like fully recalling who they might be, with the exception of one, which is your sister. It's pretty obvious who she is.
Ingrid's the other one.
Hmm?
I bet Ingrid's the other one.
Never know.
I walk up.
As you get closer, there is a man that seems more noble in bearing than anybody else in the room. He's not dressed any different. Everybody is in whatever they chose to generally wear there, but it's not, you're intentionally told not to wear something ornate.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be a reverence thing, so I'm going to guess you didn't dress flashy, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Well, all of my clothing is at least somewhat, like, just fucking out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't dress in the zoot suit, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. That's for later. There is a party usually after these votes or meetings. As you approach, Albrecht immediately sees you, but your sister is probably the first one to recognize you. And she stops momentarily speaking with another woman that looks considerably younger than her. Not old enough to be a child, but definitely not old enough to be in a real position. Or at least you wouldn't suspect so. She's got straight, very fine, like paintbrush thin gold hair. And her gown is mostly white with a green simple ribbon to keep it tied. No other adornments. There's somebody that Richard immediately recognizes, but only because he's had to deal with him a couple of times in his past. He's a boastful, arrogant, walking piece of shit.
It's Lamel.
Who used to be an oster in one of the military schools you used to deal with. He's now at a different rank, but you know him as Benegar. Benegar is an old war general of sorts. He's not really heavy set. It's more like, you know, those guys that are big, but they're muscular big. Like if you were to see them without anything really on, they'd be monsters and like a wall of muscle. That's how this guy's built. Your initial impression would think that he's actually heavy set until you think about it for a second. Those proportions are wrong. This dude's scary. but he's up there in age, so it's kind of going away. The regal-looking one is the one that throws everybody off. It takes Lamel about 0.6 seconds to realize that's fucking Prince Xander. Prince Xander has very clean-cut black hair. He gives off all the airs of a Prince Charming kind of individual. He's very good at his words. He's very careful with what he says, for the most part. And he could give Richard some nuts with the way he seems to be talking as you approach.
Daddy, he's fading.
And then there's that.
All the women and children want him.
All the men want to be him.
I can't mimic the voice that I want to do for him, so I'm not going to try.
I'm just picturing Prince Charming from Shrek.
Oh, dear
I wasn't
Lamel.
What?
How
that's
great
just what
it
I'm
is
gonna
to
say.
see
Farquaad?
you.
No, Prince
Prince
Charming,
Charming.
the second
Charming.
one.
The other one. Oh, okay.
I'm Prince Xander, and I'm probably a massive dick bag.
Sure.
See, that's how I envision his voice.
There is no probably.
There is no probably.
I would assume he actually has a pretty deep bass tone to his voice. You know those people that when you look at him for a minute, you're not expecting the voice you get, but it's this sultry, deep voice that just makes somebody go, I like that, and I don't know why.
So, like, hello there. My name is Prince Xander.
He's just B flat the whole fucking time.
and I'm an enormously massive dick bag.
Sure.
I actually have no clue what his personality is like. I'm just making assumptions.
I don't either. It's fine.
Yeah! But you agree, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
As you're
I'm
approaching,
antagonizing him.
He's a dick bag, yeah.
he's making jokes to kind of make people laugh a little bit. He seems to be effortlessly leading a conversation that goes nowhere. It's just there for pleasantries. Benegar is pretty close to him, physically speaking. Albrecht and Priya are entertaining it. Albrecht's not laughing. Priya is for decorum purposes, and occasionally it's actually funny and she can't help it. It's just how it goes. And the younger one is almost fawning on him, but trying not to show it.
I simply kind of just butt my way in by bumping up to Albrecht going, Albrecht, Priya, oh, it's nice to see you. It's been 3 weeks too many.
Brother. Or I guess I shouldn't use that title in here, should I?
I don't care. You can if you want.
It's true.
Everyone knows. So
She kind of like looks at the prince for a minute, right? The only dig she's probably going to make, that's obvious.
Oh, brother! It's been far too many years. Or should I call you Xander? What are you more comfortable with?
I would be comfortable with a hug. Come here.
Oh, come here.
He's not a massive dick bag.
As he gives you a hug and
You say
everything.
that till he's casting.
No. As he goes to give you like an affectionate hug. You don't feel any lack of warmth to it. There's no dishonesty to it. It's hard to tell if he's doing it as a performance or he really means it. He doesn't even lean in and whisper something to you to fuck with you. How do you take that?
Oh, I fully embrace the whole faux love kind of deal, and I lift him up in the air like a actual brother would, and I kind of jostle him a bit.
It does let you know, actually, insight for me, because that's actually going to be more appropriate. I don't want to just give it to him.
Natural 20 for a 22.
I guess I should have.
Yeah.
So, Xander is not unfit
Mm-hmm.
by even appearances, but he's not like, I work out. It's like it's an effortless genetic advantage. When you actually pick him up, that goes right out the window. This motherfucker is in a gym nonstop kind of feel. He's a mountain of muscle that's just all deep and corded. That's the really big thing to pick up.
He gonna fuck you up.
You don't know if he can fight. You just know he's built well, and he's hiding it a lot in his clothing.
Set him down, back away. What were we talking about?
I was just regaling them with a light little story of Humor and wit, nothing too special.
Mm.
I did enjoy your performance, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you did?
Yeah.
Which one?
The second one, I don't necessarily think the Watcher should have intervened as much, but then again, there was a random person in the crowd and others were attacked. I can understand it.
I have had trouble lately with people randomly trying to kill me, so it works out. I had a grand finale planned, if that helps.
I would suppose it would. Perhaps you can tell it to me later. We'll just see how it goes, right?
Sure.
As for the query, I guess it rose. These people really invaded your home?
They didn't get to leave by any means, but yeah, they certainly tried.
I wouldn't let them leave either.
Not that it's relevant, but I am standing next to you.
That's fine.
Just letting you know.
Perhaps after all of this, we should talk about getting you at least a proper stipend so you can have some security.
By all means.
I love how all the assumptions are immediately like this motherfucker. I love it.
No, I just don't need more fucking babysitters.
No, that means money.
I'm angry.
Ingrid, nice to meet you. Just normal handshake. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
I'm not trying
Hi.
to woo her or anything.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, she's just tall enough to be an adult, but barely.
How young do you say she looks?
Older than
Just
3.
enough to be an adult.
Huh.
17 and a half.
Weird. Okay, not what I was expecting.
Why?
Priya Aubrich Ingrid. I expected her to be older.
40s.
Based on the conversation from last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that'd be a bit of a throw. That's okay. So, what the fuck? Why'd this close? Swap that.
We have any issues again?
No, that's my crap. That's closing.
Okay.
You know, the things I need.
Yeah, the things you need.
Hi.
Nonetheless, Aubrey kind of steps forward. And I forgot the voice. Thanks, Brain.
It's fine. Just make a new one up.
I believe in you.
I believe in me.
You should.
Yeah, I forgot it.
Just make up a new one. It's
Doesn't
fine.
matter. Albert basically kind of, I believe they're going to be calling for us soon. We probably should make our way into the hall.
Yes, duty calls.
Albert, I had meant to thank you. I had not expected you to actually sponsor me. I figured you would have forgotten. Not because I view you as forgetful, but, well, you hardly know me, and yet you've sponsored me into an academy, so thank you very much.
An individual of knowledge shouldn't be forgotten.
There's like a genuine smile on Adrit's face. Thank you yet again.
Thank me with your studies.
Of course.
And something of what you have learned. That would be more than payment.
Well, I will get back to you on that.
Perfectly well. Who's your friend?
Oh, this is the man of many friends. His name is Richard.
He knows a guy.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
He knows a guy.
I'm sure we've met at least one point, but I'm easy to forget.
Perhaps. Xander's kind of looking at the entire thing going, I swear I should know this guy. Venegar's like legitimately looking over. Was he one of mine?
Don't recognize me.
Okay. I think he served like 8 years ago.
Shit.
I do know you.
Shit. Hey, Venegar.
I see we've changed our name. Face doesn't match the name. Or
What's this for?
Guidance.
he's like, you might be taking it, so I want to make sure that you got some protection.
That's what age does to you, as I can tell.
I still make sure to get everything in I need to.
Not gonna front that.
You still serving?
In about 2 months.
Ah, took some leave.
Yes.
How long?
10 years.
And you're going back now?
Yes.
Ooh. I want to know what kind of assignment they put you on. Good luck with it. I assume you are here as support for Lamel.
Yes, I'm here for support.
Whether
Whether it be emotional or otherwise.
Definitely emotional.
Insight. If you say so. Well, I will make my way. Dear Prince, I will wait for you. He takes a couple steps just away, but not enough to actually to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And he's waiting for Xander. Brother, if you don't mind, briefly. Everybody else probably goes about. Priya tries to lag behind. We'll address it, sister, I promise. It's nothing more than what we've already discussed. She gets this cautious look that she tries to exchange with you, but it almost like Xander knows her reactions enough to keep it from actually going back and forth.
I hand you off to Adrit.
No, you don't.
Wow, what? How's this not happen?
Sure. If you're going to make a scene, I'll just hold on to you. That's fine. Do you want to go on my shoulders now?
No,
All right.
I'm a big girl.
So do you basically just start like you're going to be like, no? Or are you wiggling? How
When
do
he
you...
moves, I go, leg.
Oh, okay.
I think I've known her long enough now to know that she's going to cause a scene if I don't just let her have her
Let her
way.
have, yeah, yes.
So I just let her
Scene
have
will
her
be
way.
made.
I have been discussing with the upper levels of Ministry of Law.
Important. I'm talking to Priya right now, right?
No, Xander.
Xander. Okay.
With the upper levels in the Ministry of Law to have you reinstated. What Father did was not forgivable, but I cannot say I knew much about it until far more recently.
I didn't expect you to know anything about it, really. I expected only the current Sayla would know.
I'm curious how, if you don't mind, how you and Priya found each other. Most aren't even aware she's in the family like that.
Sheer coincidence. I just happened to run into her in another town, and I happened to have already known from our father.
So you remembered from childhood and she did not necessarily.
I insight him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I won't. I'm going to take him at face value. Lamel doesn't know any better.
That's fine.
Leave it as a 3-year-old. And not look.
Insight, what? Oh, wow. That's an 11, which is higher than I thought it was going to be.
And you were discerning against what, out of curiosity?
How genuine he is with any of this, or if he's lying through his fucking teeth and it's all bullshit.
No, there's definitely a duplicity to it, but he's not lying at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the duplicity isn't in a lie, it's that there's some other benefit that is not
Ulterior
obvious.
motive, I guess, is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. Well, ulterior motive still insinuates that what he's saying isn't true either.
Okay.
He's going to do it, but it serves something else.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Dual purposes.
Okay. Proceed.
It's like dual wielding.
I rolled a 3, if it makes you feel better.
I rolled a 6.
Wow, we both did shit. And he has actually the backing to support it and still failed.
Yeah, same.
That is serendipitous. I do want to ask, given the performances, I'm guessing at the moment I would not have your support.
It's not necessarily that you wouldn't have my support. It's that I don't see any reason to keep power in the hands of Clan Tyr at this point. There is no reason to stray from traditional norms, unless you've got a reason to tell me. If you do have a reason, then here, tell me.
He glances around the room almost imperceptibly, like he's trained enough over time to just pick up things without making it obvious. Which usually an heir would do, because you have to be able to look around a room and see if there's a knife without actually giving away there's a knife. I don't think words would necessarily sway you at the moment, so I'm going to tell you to vote how you think is appropriate. After all this, regardless of which way it goes, I will need to share with you some of Father's not so glorious heritage and not so lauded actions.
Yeah, the things he kept sweeping under the rug finally caught up to him. Although he can't run anymore, can he?
No.
Sorry if me dogging on the old man is going to upset you. I don't mean to.
Your anger is well placed. Part of the reasons I know what's going on, that I'm doing this, is also how I discovered your existence. It was in those same sorted articles. Some of it ties to Mother and her attachments to her old family. And you've not met my wife yet, but there's also attachments in regards to that as well. We're not truly tears. Father is. But we're half not, as my children will be. Now, quarter not. Well, quarter tear, I should say.
Regardless.
I don't know how much you know of Mother, but we'll leave this part of it. She is one of the descendants, what they like to call one of the children of Ola.
He's like, I wrote that down somewhere.
No. I have stuff written on that. I have more to write now.
This motherfucker goes, oh.
That was like a scramble of a lifetime
This
right
shit's
there.
juicy.
Okay, Xander. No. Mother. And
Well, it's important because that affects me too. All right. Can't say I've heard that before, but hell, I learn new shit every day.
It's the old royal family to mates.
what was that?
The old royal family to mates.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That makes some of what is occurring dicier. Not the vote. That's not attached directly. But why we took Ziller is attached to that.
Mm-hmm.
And if we hand it off to Astral now, I have to give this to them.
There's no telling what they'll do with it. Or there's a pretty good idea.
If history is any guess on what an ancient enemy would do, that isn't a temporary alliance, no matter how long that alliance might be, when they find out that that alliance was a facade concocted by the witches, it will go very south.
An alliance between what?
There was an alliance with Ziller that was agreed upon. That's part of it. But the alliance with Astral and the High Clans is what he's referencing right now. It's based on a farce perpetuated by the witches.
Based on ours perpetuated.
Again, vote as you think is appropriate. Putting me in power is not my goal. Keeping Tyr in power is the goal. So it doesn't matter if it's me.
You've given me something to think about, that's for sure. I'd love to see those documents.
They're not just documents, some of them are physical artifacts, and a couple of them are ancient artifacts, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Xander's in difference?
Albert is going to disagree with me, though he doesn't have the full story. He is aware of the artifacts themselves. And I believe, as he does, tradition is appropriate. I just do not want Astral specifically to see these before we have time to vet it. Otherwise, as you would want, Father's name will be beyond dirt, but his actions then will throw scrutiny, which may unseat the clan completely.
Yeah, this is something you don't just throw out all at once. This is something you defeat over generations.
No, I wouldn't expect him to move in a day.
I have a side question. The knights that you were describing earlier with the armor and everything, would they count as the Queen's Guard?
The Queen's Guard is one of the divisions in that knighthood.
Okay. Sorry, you activated some kind of sleeper agent in my brain when you said the child of a lamb, so I'm just...
Now he's going back through all his notes going, what was important in session 0?
Yes.
What was important in my secrets?
Mm-hmm.
That's right, everybody. We have secrets.
We do!
They just don't know each other's, which is the point.
Yep, but they tie together because
Wait, you
Andrew knows
got
what he's
secrets?
doing.
Mm-hmm. You poor thing.
Oh, come on, have more confidence in yourself. You're doing great.
But nonetheless,
Where are you?
I welcome you as a sibling, as you should be, and you should be reinstated one way or the other within the clan appropriately. I'm not worried about if I keep a crown and title of prince. It's irrelevant to me. Father's involvements are something that does matter to me.
I'm sure the old bastard had reasons to do the things he did. I'm not saying that he didn't.
I'm starting to question if they were sound, or at the very least, good.
Or even his own.
Well, that I can't prove or even speculate fully. I will leave that to minds that already go along that path. As you get a crooked smile out of that.
Side question. Am I voting?
Mm-mm. You're not of age.
Alright, well, it would look weird if we actually leave this conversation all chummy, so I'm going to give you a very mean scowl and walk away.
Seems appropriate.
Hmm.
I will walk away with a ponderance as if I had hoped that had gone differently.
Sounds good. Break.
So as Xander is walking past you, he's contemplative and a bit torn. As Lamel is approaching you with
Unbridled rage.
And the child.
Yeah, that
was
fits.
like,
who doesn't look phased or does.
I'm here.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck's happening.
As you're going towards the hall, servants of a clan member are allowed in, which is why you guys would be allowed in. You see your friend standing near the person he said he had managed to speak with, and he kind of gives you but in a code, but a hand signal, but nonetheless, we got it.
We're in. We did it. We're here.
As the vote begins, there is a tradition of sorts that occurs first. One of the knights comes in with an obsidian blade. Not all that big. It's a dagger about very long.
One of the
One of the
Darkness Knights?
yes, with one of the old ceremonial daggers of the witches. It triggers you. I need you to make a wisdom save for me.
Ooh,
That's pretty good.
it's a 16 and a number. Wisdom is a +2, it's 18.
Would you like to take the next 10 minutes to attune that knife?
That sounds great. What else am I doing for 10
Oh my fucking god. That knife's gonna fly out of his hand and go right into a 3-year-old. Everyone in the room's gonna be terrified.
My child's gonna be the talk of the town.
As you begin attuning this, you're not going to be able to tune it as a 3-year-old. It's your spirit that's attuning
Yeah,
it.
fair enough. How do I spell ceremonial? It's an S or a C?
It's a C.
Thank you. I'm like, S doesn't look right.
No, it's not. As he brings out the dagger, a couple of the supplicants, the ones in the robes that were the cult that protect everything, comes in, and there's a sacrifice stone, dead center. Around it are 6 holes that have been drilled into the stone that act as blood wells, and then there's grooves that run to them from the center of it. The bottom of the drilled-in holes seem to be a channel that runs all the way around the base of the stone, and it leads to a singular area that has a very tiny cylindrical pedestal that you can tell at the top of it has a small little bowl cut into it, and there's a hole dead center of that bowl. One of the supplicants comes in with this crystal, bullish vial. It does have a lid on it. It looks like it's a solid piece. As they proffer it forward, they lay it down into that cylindrical portion, and slightly turn it, and then you can hear it stone on stone grinding. Most of the people are at this point are starting to tone down enough that hush tones allow you to actually hear what's going on more. Initially, they're all talking, bullshitting, making last-minute deals. There's so many people in this room, so many different factions. The ballot only consists of 3 options. Support Prince Xander's notion. Maintain traditional...
Calum time.
Maintain the traditional heritage, or petition for a delay. If the petition for a delay goes through, it has a period that says no more than 5 years. If that petition occurs, it then has to go to all the high clans, and that's a different problem. If the petition is heard, it basically puts it out of the clan's hands, and the ministries run the government completely. And the paladins are elevated to all the decision-making.
Oh, I don't like that.
So everybody's aware that the paladins then take over everything for a while. And since there are not 5 of them, ties can happen. So just to put that information out there. For the purposes of you are all NPC'd, temporarily NPC'd, you will be allowed to cast a vote of your choosing, each of you individually. Your wait for it will reflect a percentage of the room. I've already got a certain percentage that's automatically been done. You guys are basically acting as my dice, because I can't know what you'll choose.
Okay.
Just come up with something that makes sense. I don't care how you do it.
Done.
And you're going to vote for one of the 3 things.
Done.
Which causes...
Could you say the choices one more time just so I can get them in my head?
Choice 1, support Prince Xander's motion.
All right.
That motion is to not necessarily turn it hereditary, but retain it within the clan.
And so Prince Xander wants tier and power.
Basically
so it's
retain it.
Tyr, Calum, or Paladins, in short, right?
Well, no, it's
It's
not.
all started.
It'd be Aestral.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Aestral's the one that's next.
Okay.
Yes, an
The
Aestral.
second option is maintain tradition, which means it transfers to the next clan,
Which would
was
be Aestral.
which would be Aestral.
How do you spell that? Because I've heard it said Aestral, Alstral, Alfstral. like-
Aestral is the pronunciation based on how I've already read from
Okay.
the language. It doesn't spell the same.
Okay, how does it spell?
I always have to pull this up because I'll missay it, and that will mess up. ALFSTRAHL.
Okay.
Oh, there's an F in there.
The
Aestral.
F is silent.
I was like, I didn't
Well,
say
it
that one.
accents the L is what it's really doing.
I said no F.
All right, so option number 1, keep tier and power. Option number 2, maintain tradition, transfer power to Aelstral. Or option number 3, was it delay for 5 years?
Delays for 5 years, which puts the paladins and the ministries in charge of everything temporarily.
All right, and we're voting as just random NPCs and not our own characters.
You're voting as blocks,
Yeah,
so it's not an individual; it's an entire block.
right, but we're not our characters.
It's not your characters doing it; it's just random people. And like I said, I've already done. The way this is basically working is you're going to represent 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. I've already done the other 60. That gives me 100% of the vote. And you guys act as my random chance.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yeah, I'm just trying to
Sounds
think
good.
what kind of impact this could have since...
Don't think, just vote.
This is me giving players enough control to influence the story they want to see happen.
Right.
Because I don't want to be like, I already decided, you get to vote for just cause, and it means nothing.
I just... man,
I'm ready.
Xander had to fucking ruin my whole world perspective by being
Too damn nice.
forthcoming with information. God damn it. It's not like they know.
I don't know the implications of
You shouldn't.
what keeping tier and power would mean or versus Aelstral.
If you keep the clan in power, it essentially means the clan will basically move and try to get the paladins to make judgment to put a clan tier member for basically another cycle.
So
And
they
then it
just
would
keep
pass
going,
on.
keep going.
It theoretically, they'd have to keep doing this, so it would only hold for a single person's lifespan.
Okay.
The prince has got himself as a nominated to it, but that's become something separate.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean it has to be him if you go this route. It just means it has to be a clan tier member. It's typically a member of the current royal family, which has never worked. It's happened. It's just never worked. Or one of the Sela, which are the 5 individuals that are in charge of the clan. It's very unlikely it's just somebody random.
Mm-hmm. Or an 8-year-old child.
3 right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Would be funny.
There's a 4th option?
No. Put the 3-year-old in charge.
All
I
of
want
these
ice
options are bad.
I'm ready
I
with
hate
my
politics.
decision.
Well, that's how politics works. If you actually, well, that's just reality. When you make any compromise, nobody should walk away feeling like they got everything they wanted.
Yeah, and all right. You know what? Are we voting publicly here? Or are we voting like secretly?
I honestly think you should vote secretly somehow,
I have flashcards. Give me 2 seconds.
but I didn't prepare that, so I was just going to do
It'll
public
be
and not care.
prepared. Look. We're prepared.
Thank you.
Never thought this would happen to you, did you?
I have an idea of what's going to happen, but like, I don't know if it's the right move or not.
Oh no, you're going to read it.
Oops.
They're already written.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck is the
sure.
point in, like...
Here.
What was the point of me writing them down if you're just gonna...
You're right, I have to hold you to your thing, right?
Oh, no, am I still writing or what's going on?
Well,
Right,
you give an answer first.
Okay.
I can't wait to see these. I'm still going to have you guys tell them. Because it would theoretically go around the room.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. I wrote it down, so I was going to hand it to you.
The last people that vote, by the way, normally is the Seelas. That way they can see how the clan feels. And they can gauge based on that and then make
It's like,
decisions.
fuck that.
They can. But they don't have
Oh,
enough
so
power.
electoral college, you say?
No, they don't have that kind of power. They
Oh.
can't completely. What?
I don't know which one of us you're confused at.
I feel like maybe it's mine.
Oh my god. How many of these do I have to do?
4.
Okay.
8.
4 of them. There were only 4 votes.
Did we get Dominus's from chat?
Nope.
Poor Dominus.
Okay.
He isn't gonna say.
I'm going to guess this one was you.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Because I already texted my answer when he started.
No, which works. It was like text. I'm like, let me just look at my phone. All right. So,
Oh, I sent you a text that's irrelevant right now, but I do eventually want an answer.
as it goes around the room, you start hearing Xander's offer. Xander's offer. 5 years. Tradition. Xander. Stuff like that happens for a while. Gets to a point where you start getting an impression that it's between tradition and Xander. The 5 years is just not even on the table. Too many people find that ripe with abuse. Like, yeah, let's give the paladins power. You know, the ones that were supposed to be controlled by the witches. Let's not do that. So they just won't do it. After a bit, gets down to the last
4?
about 40%. And this is going to be funny and messed up.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds to tie my shoes and I'll stop hitting you. Calm down.
One of the blocks votes for Xander. So does another block. And a block votes for tradition. And then the worst thing that can possibly happen, another votes for tradition. At the end of the whole thing, Xander wins by less than 2%.
Wow.
That's where we're ending game. Because the repercussions of that won't be known for years.
Dun, dun, dun.
With Xander's proposal, he himself refuses to take the actual title and instead appoints Albrecht to be king.
Ooh.
It doesn't make him king automatically, but it does raise him to the elevation of the royal family. And in exchange, Albrecht makes him a Sela. They basically trade places. Xander's not old enough normally to be a Sela, so it's unprecedented at his age. Though he could be soon, and after the 5 years, he'll be fine. The argument, if you will, among the clans takes months to resolve. But Aistral ends up agreeing with Palantir's proposal and allows it. But they allow it with a condition that is no more than 10 years. They don't give him a full cycle. They won't relent on it. And Palantir agrees. Calum throws a big enough fit that they actually rescind their support to the ministries for that decision. which is damaging, but not crippling. TOGG, who's always had a classic alliance with Tyr, doesn't even blink about it. They're fine with it. Lepus stays neutral to such an extent that they decide to take up Calum's vacuum in the ministries, making them the largest clan in all of the ministries by almost 2-1.
Which tier was that?
Lepus,
Okay.
it's not combined, that's individually. So if you put Tyr against Lepus, they outnumber them 2-1 in the ministries. The landscape will change. Things will happen. But for all of you, 5 years will pass. You will gain a level.
Hooray!
I will be 8.
Dominus will return.
Hopefully.
It's been 5 years. I don't know.
After almost 5 years, or a little over 5 years of working on some sort of project. And it will be complete. Unless he screws up his rolls.
Hey, well, since we're gaining a level at like the start of next session, right?
I mean, you're technically gaining it now, but you'll roll HP at the beginning of the next session.
Well, I was gonna say, can't we just roll HP now? Because like we're here.
I would like to have Jason present.
Oh, fair enough.
That way he can't sit and be like, well, I didn't do it. No, it doesn't. The idea of having everybody present is great.
Gotcha.
With that, the world is changing. You are all growing older.
Yeah.
Some of us very rapidly. We go from 3 to 8. Congratulations.
More than doubled your life.
She did. For some of you, that makes you probably a bit different based on your age. If you would change classifications where you're forced to retire, your character is now lost. Meaning, if your character hits 60, it's lost automatically.
Okay.
If it retires as an NPC, you make a new character, we'll reintroduce it, it'll be the same level. I don't think that necessarily affects any of you, but I don't recall exactly how old Dominus is supposed to be, so it'd be pretty funny if Jason comes back and has to retire his character.
I don't think he's
I'm
close
sure
to
he's
60.
like 40.
Yeah, I thought so, but just putting out there's clarifications.
Yeah.
Just change it to 20. It's fine.
Haha! Suckers!
You know there's another 5-1 coming because it's 10 years before the shift and then it has to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming. When we return, we will all be older, wiser, and hopefully more prepared.
Yay.
With that, thank everybody for joining. Please like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on Magnus Aevum. Good night.
Bye-bye.